There's raid plan raid classes starting here shortly, so make sure that you're getting into Discord and tuning into Cinder stream, please.
Infernios in raid combat?
Yep.
Oh,
looks
Jesus
like he's
fucking Christ.
trying to do LFR, so Pika, you might be in.
Why have you done this to me, Infernio? Why?
Okay, you're at start time. I should see everyone in this channel watching the stream already. 26 proggers. All right. So, Mythic Illyria. Phase 1 is remarkably similar to Heroic. It plays almost identically, just the numbers are bigger. There is one very, very key difference. The key difference on Mythic is that when you hit one of the bosses with an arrow, it doesn't just reset the stacks, it prevents any stacks from ever being applied again. So we need to make sure we do not hit any bosses with the first couple arrows. We are only allowed to hit the bosses with the arrow when the boss is ready to die. So you can see their first two arrows there. I'm actually going to highlight that again. They're hitting no one with the first two arrows, just sidestepping them off the raid stack. You're also going to notice that the ranged are not playing in Clusterfuck Narnia. There are not multi-daughters sitting in the middle of the room to start the fight because there is no benefit, because these bosses have way more health than we are ever going to be able to break through unless we start stacking these debuffs up. I'm going to rewind even further here to hopefully highlight these droplets. You can see that the tank who's starting over on Morium is not getting aggro on these droplets. Ideally, they're getting gripped in. That one's lost, that's fine. But as many droplets as possible are getting gripped in by the DK early to get it straight onto the first boss. There is no reason to hit your damage buttons on pull because the boss does not have a damage amp until these first couple guys are dying. Again, like I said in the post, you should have checked Lorgs to see how much you need to hold. Probably 20 seconds. All the droplets are coming in on the first boss until we've got enough amp to kill him. The ranged are playing very tight with their baits. Remember that when you're targeted by obelisks, you just move just outside of the danger zone so that you're predictable. They're not going to hit Demiar with these ones either. They're just going to sit them. Demiar is going to sit there with 0 HP until the next set of arrows. With our level of damage and the nerfs, it's possible that we'll want to hit him with the second one, but we'll play that by ear. Moving as a stack to bait ranged, always. And melee, sometimes you're going to get targeted by the drop-offs. You also need to move back and drop them off. After the second drop-offs, we can have the ranged gate over to the other half of the arena so that they're in range of both mini-bosses. Third arrow killed Demiar, went over to Morium next. This is just heroic. At this point, they're going to skip. They're not going to hit Morium with this one. They'll hit Morium with the next one. And the end of the phase will be the final Silver Strike arrow. What that means is that, technically speaking, we have a pass-fail Hardened Rage targeted on one of two people to hit Varellus. So when we have those arrows, make sure someone hits Varellus. You can see he's glowing white. He's going to get hit. We're going into phase. The intermission on Mythic is both intermissions at the same time. So we're going to be getting pulled, dodging swirlies, and avoiding orbs. Everybody's lining up at this line because it's a line of orbs you want to follow, and we're going to go cycling around. Get hit by every other one, just like on Heroic. If you get hit by 2 in a row, you're probably dead. I've been told that some slow breaking effects can help with this. Disengage and maybe the fade talent, I'm not sure. We'll be ending right at the end of this area here. And then we'll be sending a few people over to a separate platform because phase 2 is where the mythic fight gets weird. You can see we've already broken the platform into chunks. The Rift Simulacrum is going to spawn on a different platform, stationary. So what they've done here is they have sent warlocks and I think a mage or a shaman or something over to Soul of the Simulacrum. We'll see it in a second here. Here are the ads. They need to be gripped in, killed, CC'd, etc. There you can see on the other platform, we've got a mage and 2 locks, it looks like, and they're just breaking the shield. That's their job. For everyone else, the ranged are getting together to bait the first obelisks, and the melee are stacking together to bait the obelisks. And we just pull to the side to bait the droplets, pull to the side so that the melee can hit the boss without hitting each other with obelisks, baiting the drops, and moving over. And this is where the real phase is going to begin. Once the simulacrum is dead, all these people are going to jump back over, just barely making it with slow fall there. And then you can see the new mythic mechanic here is these ghost simulacrums. The ghost simulacrums are going to shoot an arrow. It's a bouncing arrow. There's 2 of them, and they're each going to hit 2 people, so 4 targets. These arrows don't just need to hit the ads to kill them, they also need to hit Illyria. Illyria has an energy bar that's filling. If the bar fills, we go to phase 3. We don't want that to happen. By hitting Illyria, we take energy away from the bar. So the person who's targeted needs to run to the other side of Illyria from the ghost, and the person they're bouncing to also needs to get inside Illyria's hitbox. You can see them all moving in there. The rest of the ranged are baiting over here. Ranged for this phase are going to be doing a little zigzagging dance across the platform for the whole phase. Melee, you're going to be sitting tight on the boss, and you're going to be doing something similar. So, ranged are going to bait the obelisk, and all the ranged are going to run left to bait the puddles. You can see that after the simulacrum shot the arrow, it left a ghost behind. We need to hit these ghosts with the obelisks in order to get rid of them, or else they'll pulse raid damage forever. So you can see here the mage is pointing a line from his obelisk through that ghost, and it'll light up and glow just like everything else does when you're aiming at it when it's going to be hit. A melee is also targeted, and there's a simulacrum off the screen on another platform that they're aiming at. When you're doing this job, you do nothing but this job. You stop DPSing, you stop everything you're doing, you make sure you hit this line, and then when you're in position, then you can go back to DPSing. This melee, if it wasn't a paladin, would be taking downtime. Here, this line, their camera is up looking at the simulacrum, making sure it's glowing, and they're planting their feet. You cannot miss this. Every single player has a chance to be targeted by this, except maybe the off tank.
Dumb question. Any of the 3 lines can hit it, right? As long
Any
as
of the 3 lines. So
Okay.
yeah, that's a fantastic question. So you can see here, Kogera, the mage, is pointing the left line. Any of the 3 can, and I think the paladin's using the middle line. So whatever lines up safest for you.
What I will say for the ranged, if you can utilize the left one, that will likely mean that you are not aiming anything at the melee. It will be a much
Yes.
safer.
Generally, this is true. There will be times where the simulacrum's on the left, and you'll want to be making sure that you're leaving a safe space. We'll see it all. The rest of the ranged baits a puddle, and then we loop. What was that?
2 quick questions. So one, if we phase her, do the ghosts persist if there are any left on the field?
I believe all mechanics get cleared from P2 once we phase.
And the other one, are we going to try to draw it out as absolutely long as possible, or we're going to aim for a threshold and then push her?
We're going to aim as long as possible to make the DPS check easier for phase 3. It gives us a lot more leeway. If we find that the end of P2 is actually harder than P3, we may change that. But for the moment, we are going absolutely as long as possible with the silver arrows. Excellent questions. So the rest of the ranged bait this puddle. Any melee who are targeted are going to come over here and drop off their puddles as well. You can see people are standing in that puddle. It's not going to explode until after you drop off. And then you leave a huge space here ranged, because these puddles are going to grow, to bait the obelisks so that you can move back left again. So an arrow gets fired, adds are getting brought in. With only 1 DK, we are going to have to do some shenanigans with the grips and kicks, and it will start hurting healers, FYI. Here we go. Ranged is hitting that one. Melee's hitting that one way off in the corner, and you can see it just lit up there, so they're hitting it. Bam. Drop a puddle. Melee drops puddles. Everybody moves over. I believe we're going to do about 4 cycles of this on this platform, and then we'll be taking a gate over to the other platform in a second here. So, bait the obelisk. Here's one that's on the left for the ranged. The ranged are always doing the one on this platform, and the melee are always doing a faraway one. So here, you're going to see that the ranged... Hey, it's Nambers. The ranged is going to be shooting this one, and all the other ranged are trying to play safely in between these arrows. That is a short-range Demon Hunter moving up to the other side. If the bait goes on the Demon Hunter, we're a little sad, but not too sad. You can see he scoots over. All right, so here's the gate. They've done 3. As soon as everybody knows who's dropping the puddles, the rest of the raid can cross. The puddle droppers cross last after they've dropped puddles, and we go back to bait positions. Ranged are always making sure that there's a ton of room to the left so that they can always move left. Boss's energy bar is starting to get a bit high. If they were to miss any arrows here, they'd start phasing. So there is a simulacrum, I believe, on the left here that the ranged are hitting with this one on the back platform. It's off screen, but I can see it pulsing there. Drop puddle, move over. And again, the melee are doing the same thing. Moving as a big stack, point the obelisk, drop puddle, move over. Boss energy is at 95. And now it's not, because they hit some arrows. It went back down to 90, and they get 1 more set of mechanics before they phase. You can see here, right before phase, there's nothing to hit, because all the mechanics are going to get cleared, so they're just moving these arrows to not hit anyone, going to phase. Intermission 2 is like 5 seconds long. Blink and you'll miss it. Everybody stands outside the gold line for a dodge, and then runs in for the second dodge. That's it. Phase 3 now. Phase 3 is where shit goes weird. We can't guarantee that we're going to have feathers to jump across these platforms with. So everybody needs an ability to jump across these platforms themselves. It is possible for everyone to do it.
Are we going to be trying to get both the ads on the same platform?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's happening here is the entire raid is stacking up on the right edge of this corner, so that the furthest point from the raid is that platform. But we need to be close to the corner because we also have the tethers, and the tethers need to be big enough to reach this corner. This is where it gets funny. So everyone's baiting here. This is a very fast set of mechanics. The tethers happen. You can see it reaches that platform. Obelisks are getting dropped. And this line is what the tanks are looking for to start moving. This means the simulacrum has targeted its position and it's going to spawn this little particle effect. So in phase 3, tanks are waiting for this. As soon as you see that, tanks can jump. Everyone's going to be jumping across now that the 2 obelisks have been baited. We have to be a bit careful with how we break here. You can see a couple people are staying behind to break their tethers slower. We'll be calling that. The mini bosses from phase 1 are back, and they're back with a vengeance, so they're going to be spawning in. The off tank brings the mini boss onto the simulacrum, which is also back from phase 2. And the ranged are going to need to cleave these 2 things down while the melee follow the boss around.
Why is it important that the tethers overlap with that corner?
Because you can't stay on that platform for very long later. It doesn't matter on the first one, it will matter a lot on the next one.
Wait. It definitely does matter, because if you are the one tethered and it breaks midair, you like bounce up and you'll fall straight down.
Yeah.
Right. You could just break on that platform and then jump, though, which is what they did on that set.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So on the first one, the breaks don't have to be across because you have lots of time to cross whenever you want. That is not the case later.
Is it still the same logic of just one melee, one ranged, and one tank getting it?
Yes. Yes, that is true. It will be one of each every time. So, baiting a bunch of shit, moving along the platform after we bait. Drop-offs are going to drop their puddles as close together as possible to conserve space. Going to have tethers in the middle here. They're getting broken as the healers call out. Obelisks get baited, and then everyone's going to go into the corner here because this is going to be breaking the platform here, Devouring Cosmos. I believe this one they're gating, but they're going to be going at the absolute last second here. They want all the mechanics baited here. This is the one where being tight in the corner matters. So you can see everyone's pixel stacked on the corner here. There's going to be a set of tethers that reach this, and there's going to be obelisks that spawn. When the second obelisk drops and you see these particles, then it's time for everyone to take the gate. The gate is inside the tether range, so we can choose when we break the tethers. It's going to have to be quick, though, because there's people targeted by obelisks, and you do not want these people to be firing through the entire raid. So you can see a couple people are just parked on the edge there waiting to break safely. And then the second mini-boss spawns, boss gets dragged out. Ranged are hitting Demiar and Simulacrum. There's no need to aim these at anything, just keep them off the raid. Moving as a stack.
This fight looks fun.
It's interesting. This last jump is not going to have a gate. So once again, everyone's going to need to cross that one themselves. This is exactly the same as the last platform. We move as a group. We bait all the things together in the middle and then move after the obelisks drop toward the center corner. If there are convenient feathers, you can grab convenient feathers on the way, but you need to be in the corner by the time the mechanics get baited. If you don't have a convenient feather, you're going to need to use personal move speed to cross. You can see the warlocks use their double gate talent. That's the way that they cross. And again, mechanics, tethers get broken as safe in that corner. Obelisks are pointed away from the raid. Raid moves as a stack. This is Morium and Simulacrum, so ranged are hitting these. I think they peel a few melee onto that to make sure it dies because they're running low on cooldowns at this point. Bait mechanics, move over. Bait mechanics, move over. Same as ever, same as Heroic, just more intense. And they're going to end phase 3 tight in this corner for the Hardened Rage. Remember, if you're targeted by a mechanic, you need to stay out of the raid until it resolves. So here, they're going to sit in this corner. They're going to let it all come to them. There's no damage. We're not breaking anything. We're sitting here. They nerd scream. Fantastic. As soon as somebody dies, as soon as that stuff hits us, is when we want to hit immunes if we need a few extra seconds. Bubbles and turtles and cloaks and such things. Anything that you have slamming defenses in that corner to get a couple extra seconds. Most likely it would be a tank thing.
Trent has mentioned immune taunting stuff. Are we going to try and do that in P3?
It has been patched. It is no longer a thing.
Gotcha.
So tanks will be responsible for tethers every time.
Sad.
Yep. So it's a bit of a wacky fight. It's mostly a dance. None of it is too complicated, but what we do need to do is move together as a group the whole fight. Any standout questions before we get started?
It's very specific to me or to Monk. So I assume lighter than feather is going to be the thing that we're using to jump across, but that requires us to roll.
You also have targeted, or is that just for monks or tanks? They can do the transcendent.
Tiger's Lust should be.
You can do transcendence if you pre-place it. Tiger's Lust should make it, although it's tight. Light as a feather, if you know the mid-air double jump, will definitely work safely. Otherwise, the buff does last for a little bit, so what you could try to do is like roll out and back in.
I don't know, Monk. Am I crazy in thinking that there's a targeted version of Transcendence?
Yeah, they have a capstone they could put on an ally and teleport to the ally.
Oh
Sweet.
shit! What?
All right, cool. So you get Shadow Step. That's an option.
Yeah, it's Link Spirits.
All right. So for most classes, it's very obvious how you jump this gap. You have a leap, you ride your horse, and you jump. Crass, if you're a rider, you can make it with your horsey. Mages and priests. You can make it if you use your move speed ability, which for mages is greater invis, and slow fall. If you combine those together, you can make it yourselves. We are going to have Ty hard assigned to rescue Fixer because it's pretty rough on priests specifically. And then Fixer can grip somebody if they're having issues getting across as well. Warlocks, you're going to want to be figuring out where you need to be pre-placing these circles. On the kill squad, you'd be pre-placing it before you gate yourself across to be the kill squad and using your circle to come back. A lot of different things. I would definitely recommend looking into what your specific class does for this if you're not sure. But let's jump back into our version of the fight. If I can get an in-game POV.
Another stone.
Thank you.
Hildy, summoning stone, please.
And what we're going to be doing, just like in the raid plan, we'll be starting with Demiar because the raid-wide nuke is real as fuck. So we want to burn him down. And we'll be rotating around to Morium 2nd and Varellus 3rd. Healers, Athena's going to be out of range sitting on Morium, and then out of range sitting on Varellus. By the time we get to Varellus, tanks are going to be hurting. Tanks, it is not impossible that you're going to want to swap when Mono gets to Varellus just because Athena's out of defensives for the melee hits.
Feast and flats.
Yeah, do we want Vantus now, or
I don't see any reason not to.
Yeah, not doing anything else this week.
go ahead and open trade with Day if you need a Vantus. Try to make it quick.
Go you in there. Pikachu.
Anyone else? Okay.
All right, I need somebody who's alive to be this 20th raid member, please.
Pika's never alive. Phase here or KO. If you want.
Don't trade gold. It makes it slower. I don't need gold. I have to wait to trade. Anyone else need more? Open trade with Day.
Do you want me on my evoker or priest?
Poker's fine. Poker's good.
Going once, going twice. We will be checking Vantuses, so make sure you're using it. And if you don't have it, open trade with Day.
Everybody has it except for Vesper.
Awesome. All right.
Do we have Feast and Cauldrons?
Grabbing them right now.
Okay.
I'll get the feast down in just 1 sec.
Get all your stuff.
Make sure you're eating. Check your oils. Anything else?
Chocolate's asking single pot with P2 last. Is that correct?
Yes, this is a 2-pot fight, but you do not hit your pot on P1. We will be hitting our lust at the 3-ish minute mark when P2 starts. You will be wanting to hit your pot there, and you'll get a second pot at the end of P3. You will be able to send cooldowns in P1. Just remember, you probably aren't sending them on RIP. You definitely want to make sure you send it so that you have it back in time for P2, though, whenever that is. Cannot stress enough, Lorgs is a fantastic tool.
Grab your remaining potion if you don't have 20.
Is it pointless for me to dot on pull, like at all?
You're gonna get almost no value other than like the couple ticks of insanity. It's more important for you to just bait.
Okay.
I would strongly say that yeah, you're until we're at that back half where you're able to split cleave Morium and Varellus, just focus on Demi-R to start with.
Almost
mean, you
everyone
could-
is just strictly resource building for at least 15 seconds.
Yeah, you could like reach over there and dot Morium just for the sake of resources while you're building up. But we just need people to help kill the first wave of like 4 droplets, and then you can start sending CDs as you go. And Crass, your job right on the get-go is there's going to be a couple of droplets that spawn on Morium. They are yours to grip. The Demi-R tank is going to gather the 2 near Demi-R, and maybe anything that comes over from Varellus. Also, melee, be very careful not to get hit by the puddles.
Do we still have people not eating flesh or eating food? I see plenty of people who've missed it. Hip, Crass, Mono, make sure you're eating. It's still up.
Now it's
Just
6 and 10.
Mono missing
Sorry,
food.
thank you.
Mono, make sure you repair. Oh, you're starting to get low, but everyone else just kind of keep that going throughout the night, please. We've got mounts. There shouldn't be a reason for anyone to be under 100 after every pull. It's pretty quick. Right. Tanks.
Remember, ranged, you're playing cozy, all fight, big stack, never leave stack. Watch the interrupting roar. Once you're safe with the obelisk, plant and try not to kill the entire raid with it. First arrows are hitting no one. First arrows just sidestep off the group and plant so that you're predictable. Watch this interrupt. Should be burning Demi-R pretty hard.
Slapped.
Oh. Right, down tank. What's that? Let's jump off.
Which tank was in danger again?
Apparently both.
The answer is yes.
You know, this one, I believe this isn't any different. You can release. So get in the habit of releasing, running back. It's going to be weird once we're done with this fight. We're probably going to have bad habits after. But
yeah, we're going to have a really bad time going into Bello if people release. But
if you run to center and then run to triangle every time, you'll be fine. Or in between triangle and diamond.
So right out the gate, number one most important thing is with the obelisks. Everybody needs to be keeping an eye on them, and we need to be trying to point the beams away from the raid to the best of our ability. But what matters most is that with the obelisk, you step outside of the circle if you're targeted, and you stop moving so everyone else can move around your arrows. Try not to point it at the tank who's tanking the other mini-boss. Try not to tank it at the raid. Point it off the edge if you can. Scooting off your first baits. Be careful. People who are targeted by the puddle, make sure you drop off the boss. That's not off the boss. We're going to have trouble with that later. Arrows are hitting nothing. Make sure no one's getting hit. Watch the interrupt. Watch the lines. Be careful. These arrows hit nothing.
F.
And we move on to the next boss. Demiar is going to sit at 1. We would normally go to we would go to M next. Morium. Drop puddles tight with the other ones. And this arrow hits the previous boss. Only the previous one. Only Demiar, 1 person, please. Okay, we're going to have another interrupt cast at some point. It's coming.
I'm lagged.
Oh, it actually enraged. We're dead. You can jump.
Yeah, look, it hurt.
Sorry,
on the red planet has bait 1 behind Demiar. Like here on this blue shit. Should that be where Range is starting the fight instead of Diamond?
I believe that would be better. Let me triple check. But yeah, because we want to be ideally rotating around so that we're able to easily move along without moving into previous shit and without causing people with arrows to have to run into puddles.
So we can't obviously move there right now because that's where he spawns, but yeah.
I
we
wonder.
can move.
You actually can, but I don't think we want to because of the first obelisk drop, right?
Well, that's not a huge deal. We could just sort of sidestep
Yeah,
left to that
everybody is
obelisk or
left.
right. But yeah, okay. So we'll just when the first obelisk drops range, just I'll go right.
By right, do you mean left?
No, he means right.
Facing Demiar.
I definitely mean right after the first obelisk drop.
So obelisk drop, we move there.
You
and
go
then
right,
we-
you drop, and
We're
then you move
here,
left.
and then we go here.
It's like P2 where we bait the obelisk and then we move over to drop the puddles after.
Okay.
Just the other way around.
So we don't need to start where you're starting. Is what we're saying. Then we move right after obelisk.
Yeah, we have so much room in this phase that it's not a huge deal. Also, if we could get a warlock gate from like those pings. Just as close as you feel safe. Don't worry too much about it. Because that'll help get the ranged into position for the second half. Fantastic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Obelisks are going to drop. Range scoot to the right to bait the puddles. Watch the lines, watch the lines. People who are targeted by the puddle, which includes melee, go drop near the original baited puddle. And everyone can shift left after puddling dropping. Don't hit anything with arrows, be predictable.
Why are we not getting the other droplets?
They're
aggroed on Athena, so
yeah, easier said than done. We're dead. We can jump. So there's a note that I didn't think I'd need to say, but the 2 arrows should not be pointing on top of each other and not through the raid.
I mean, those 2 were not targeting each other, and people should have had plenty of time to move out of them. They were not like sporadically placed. They were right next to each other.
Stayed because I figured that was best. But I think they were both on me. I got 1 shot.
No.
It says I got hit twice.
Nope.
They were
one
on
was
top of
on
each other.
One was on me and one was on you. I didn't get hit by the other one because I was further out. So I think you were close enough that.
Okay.
That should not be a risk in the first place. If the 2 lines even look like they might hit the same person, just split them up. And I would really say, like, for melee, if you're targeted by an arrow, go a little bit more towards square in this instance. And for ranged, you should go back to the left triangle side.
Gotcha. That's my bad. I couldn't even tell that there was another.
It's hard to see when you're in the melee, yeah. There will be growing pains like this, and we haven't been on the heroic version of this fight in a while.
Yeah. Range should be behind the stack and not in between the stack and the boss.
I
Easier
don't know
said
what
than
you
done
mean.
with 25-yard range.
So after the obelisks get baited, we will shuffle to bait the puddles. Make sure the beams are safe. Make sure you are safe from beams. Careful tanks. Puddles are getting dropped. Range should be scooting away from them. And the arrows hit nothing. Make sure that you are not on top of each other. Range don't get hit by them. Range don't get hit by them. Range don't get thank you. Going to be shifting a bit. All right, this arrow could hit Demiar, honestly, and then one not, and everyone shift to Morium. We definitely have the damage to do that early. We have lots of puddles for Morium, just don't get hit. After this puddle drop, which is now, the people who are dropping are going to go back. Everyone who's not targeted, ranged, you can gate across to the other side when you feel safe. Now that all the mechanics have targeted. Arrows nothing, arrows nothing. This arrow also hits nothing. Range just puddle baits in a second. Make sure you're not too close to the boss or the middle. Point the obelisks out. Everyone shift to last boss. The next arrow in 5 seconds, one person has to hit Morium. There will be some danger. Be careful with where you place it. Do not hit Virelis. One last puddle bait. Careful with obelisks. Melee with the puddle bait. Make sure you get out of melee. This arrow has to hit Virelis. We are behind on the DPS check.
Just one.
And can we kill it in time? 3, 2, 1. Oh, all right. Stack up, stack up, stack up. At the edge of the blue area, you don't want to go too early because there are going to be an orbs and you don't want to get hit, but just get right up to that edge and follow the orbs. Get hit by every other arrow. You can do first and third or second and fourth. Okay.
You know, I was going to ask if we had to get hit, and then I just figured out that you got to get hit.
Yes, you do. So we'd be shuffling over. Where are we? Okay, so this was mostly for me to figure things out. So this would be Pumpy and Mages and Warlock would head over to try to hit the Simulacrum. Ranged shuffle to the corner there to bait the first puddles. Corner ranged, except for the targets. If you have a silver arrow, you must hit the boss with it. You must hit the boss with it. Get close to the boss with all of them. And ranged need to shuffle over for the next obelisk bait. All right, so Yoseki's going to try to hit that one, and melee, there's one that's far that you need to try to hit. It'll light up. It is actually not that one that got pinged. That is not the ghost. That is the simulacrum that didn't die. The ghost simulacrum is over on circle.
Oh, that's really far.
That is ridiculous to see.
So how this ends up going ideally is going to be that the tanks and the melee are going to be playing on sort of that inner portion, that inner ring where the gold line is, so that you've got room to maneuver a bit and not worry about where the ranged are. And the ranged are going to be playing out at least 20 yards out from the boss toward the outside here and rotating as a stack the whole time. So remember we saw in the footage, they would all stack up to bait the obelisk, and then they would all move left to bait the puddles. And then they would all move right to bait the obelisk and all move left to bait the puddles. The ranged have to move as a stack the entire time. For the purposes of the obelisks, Mistweavers are ranged. Bad news, Filthy.
Wait.
You are in the range stack in P2.
Okay, I
That
don't think that's
is-
a problem.
It should be fine, but no blackout kicks for you.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be lusting P2.
I had a question. So I hopped across to the other platform to hit the Rift Simulacrum, but I got one of the white lines that needs to go through Illyria. What do I do in that scenario? Am I just chilling over there?
By that point, that thing should either be dead or almost dead if we're all alive, so I don't worry about it too much right now.
Okay.
If that were to happen, your partner would have to try to hit Illyria. So we will be... Let's look at the markers, Ellie, if you can plant your camera right there. Perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if
So-
these are markers or exactly what you want.
Let me just fact check on the raid plan here.
Quick question for P1. I think this is how I died. I got targeted by Obelisk, moved out of the group, planted, and then there was a arrow that was targeted through me. That was on somebody was on the other side of me. I should just plant there, right? I shouldn't have been moving.
Ideally, yeah. We really want the people targeted by the arrows to be the ones responsible for not hitting people with arrows. You can just move way off the group. It's okay.
So that was my question that you didn't understand earlier. If the range is stacked, like, I don't know, on this somewhere in this circle, are demon hunters and dragons taking arrows here acceptable, or should they be taking it out of here and taking?
They should be taking it out at max range on triangle, yeah. We do not
mean-
want arrows anywhere the fuck near the range stack. It's just not safe.
Our max range is 25 yards.
Okay.
Right. So
How far? So 25 yards toward triangle with the rest of the raid not
I could,
there.
if I'm here, I could be right here. is the max range
Fantastic.
without Demi-Arc.
That's
Then
pretty far.
that's where the arrow should be.
Right.
Okay, now with respect to how we do the transition into P2, we will be ending the fight kind of near the square marker for phase 1. And what we end up with over there, I believe how we want to start is we want to run over to the X side, and we're going to be following X around. Is that? It's a bit weird. Okay, yeah. So when we end the phase, we kill Varellus. The raid's going to be running over to the X marker platform. You're going to be running all the way around to like the square marker. The kill squad, again, that is Mages, Pumpy, Hildy. You guys are going to be staying behind on the triangle platform to do the kill squatting. And then you can cross after, so you don't have to cross twice.
Are the groups important in this fight in any way?
I don't believe so.
Could we put the kill squad in their own group just for healing, so I can see ranges and stuff?
Great idea. That'll work. And then, yeah, as much as you have the brain globals in P1, Crass, just grip bugs onto the boss that we are killing for the first, like, 30, 40 seconds.
Relevant to that, if you have taunts, feel free to taunt the blobs. Because if you just pull them and I have aggro, then they come crawling back to me.
Yeah, good call.
They really like her.
I shall provoke bugs.
Could you
I have
explain the
very
kill squad again? So we're staying over there?
So what you'll do in phase 2 starts, you stay behind on a separate platform, and there is a simulacrum with a barrier that needs to be broken, just like on heroic phase 2. It's just far away. Kill squad, all you do is you hit your cooldowns and you target dummy that simulacrum until it's dead, and then you guys will jump across to rejoin the range stack after. So what that could look like is having the Hildy taking a gate, Mages doing G-Invis slow fall, could have Fixer and Kale and Ty rescue people, whatever ends up working for us with the timings, we'll take a look at that. But the core thing is U4, Zug target, and then come back and do mechanics with the rest of the raid after.
Some cookies.
Field group can get mechanics like everybody else, right?
They can. Ideally, we're just popping the simulacrum before real mechanics happen.
Ah, I gotcha.
Like if you guys will probably be baiting a puddle over there, you will not have to worry about an obelisk hitting a ghost from over there. Speaking of, obelisk is the first mechanic, and the ranged are going to scoot over to be on the edge behind the melee. Dropping a puddle. Be careful of this beam, guys. You need to move yourselves out of the beam. Beware the interrupt. It's happening. The next arrow can hit Demiar, I think, safely, but nothing else. It's fine if you don't. We'll hit him with the next one. Our plan was the third one. Make sure we're baiting the puddles. After these puddles get baited, ranged, you can take the gate whenever you want, as long as you're not dropping a puddle on the wrong side. Arrow must hit Demiar. Arrows must hit Demiar. Filthy, can you roll through? I think
Sorry,
we're
my
dead.
bad. I'm tired.
I didn't call it fast.
Morium got cleared?
Yep, alright, we're definitely dead then. Alright, with our damage, the second arrow will hit Demiar. That way we don't have to do a third interrupting shout.
Release.
I don't know exactly what's going. I know obviously there's random void baits on the ground, but it seems very consistent that I'm like having to just tank Demiar in shit.
We should definitely not be having to tank Demiar in shit. Let me take a quick peek back again.
Is it possible this is like the monk is range dropping?
If it was the most recent poll, part of that was me, and it won't be as close as it was. I fell rushed at an angle I did not expect to take it farther out.
Gotcha.
So that was probably the closest one, so it's probably not going to be as bad that normally mono.
Jump.
Let's be careful about that.
Been more than one, so that's why I'm wanting to call it out. So
Yeah, so we're the first set of obelisks are going to be spooky for melee. I'm going to double check how the other group did that. I think he just vibe with it. Yeah. Okay. So
Release.
the
Run back.
the first set of puddles that we're baiting, we really want them as far on the edge of the platform as possible. So ranged, ideally, ones that aren't targeted by the obelisk, the other ranged should be baiting that puddle on the edge behind the boss. And anyone who gets targeted by the other puddles, the arrow on your head, the camera zoom out, the you have void expulsion on you mechanic, you want to run that out on top of the other puddle. There will be a little bomb on the ground, you can see it, and you can stand in it. It is safe to stand in to drop your puddle, and as soon as you drop, you move out again. You can drop it and leave, and it won't explode until after you leave. Just go quick. That will constrain the puddles so that mono does not have to stand in shit to tank Demiar. And it'll make the arrow much easier to aim.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Sorry, Mono. I don't think any of us were doing that.
Yeah, so. And
That makes sense,
just
though.
a point of clarity for Filthy as well as for Pilgrim and Malandrew if it becomes relevant. For the puddles, you are considered melee. It will never bait on you first. You could get a follow-up one, but it'll never bait on you first. For the obelisks, you are considered ranged. So it's the best of both worlds, realistically.
But so like I still move out, drop that void expulsion
Yes.
with it, just
Yeah.
with everyone else. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you just
Everyone make
don't
sure
need
you
to
were
worry
pairing.
about if you bait a puddle in a bad spot as the first one, you'll know where you're placing yours.
Mono and LA, you're low. We died a lot there, so make sure you're staying up on repairs.
All right. Cozy ranged movement. Once the obelisks get baited, I want the range to be running to the right, along the edge to bait the puddle. Just be careful of the beams. Other puddle droppers dropping on the edge. You can be in the other bomb. It is safe to be in the other bomb. Do not fear the other bomb. And then we can scoot. Arrows hit nothing. Watch the interrupt. The next arrows, we're going to not hit Demiar. We're too far behind. It's not safe. Hit nothing. Hit nothing. And you can move over to next boss. Going to be baiting ranged. Bait. The bait ranged. Once you know you don't have a puddle, ranged can gate. The next arrow has to hit Demiar. 2 people targeted. Figure it out. Good job, Dave.
Here's tank.
Fine tank, Bureau's tank.
By Virus.
Void expulsions. Try not to be on boss with them to the best of our ability. Arrows on nothing. Arrows on nothing. This is fine. The next arrow hits Morium. People can leave for next boss. We need to fuck up those droplets. We have 12 seconds to kill Virellus. It sounds scary, but as long as the droplets all hit, it's not too bad. Burn, burn, burn. 1 arrow on Virellus. With this many dead, we probably hit the enrage here, unfortunately. All right, you can go take a leap.
I can make sure I health pot there. I was at like 29% and didn't health pot before arrow, so that's on me.
Yeah, people who are targeted by the Silver Strike arrow are in a shocking amount of danger compared to Heroic. That thing hits.
Yeah,
Healers
killed me
just
through
keep
for
them
brew.
topped,
I
but
was mix.
Just use try to keep arrows top, but it's definitely on us as people taking arrows to top ourselves if we have health pot. So 100% on me there.
Drop a personal as well. It's fine.
Yep.
It is when you're targeted by the arrow, you hit a personal kind of thing. This is a broad rule across Mythic. I'll say it every now and then as a reminder. Mythic mechanics assume they do half your health, no matter what it is. If a mechanic is going to hit you soon and you're below half health, assume that you're going to die, hit a health pot. Or
Good
equivalent.
question.
Yep.
Can you get orb drops and arrow at the same time?
I don't believe any mechanic can target you while another mechanic is targeting you. I think they're staggered so that doesn't happen.
They can happen immediately after, though. I have seen
Yes.
it. It sucks.
If an arrow fires and then half a second later an obelisk happens, that could still hit you. But you will never have both at the same time.
Okay, and so then if we're ranged, we just definitely want arrows going left every time, right?
Yeah, there's really, as far as I know, and until proven otherwise, range to a targeted by arrows, unless it is an arrow we need to hit something with, just step off the group completely to the left or just away from whatever boss you're hitting. Step away from the boss.
Okay, right is illegal. I'm gonna watch for people.
I got one and I stayed in place because I saw everybody already shifting. So I was like, why am I going to shift? Is that okay too?
Yep, I saw that and I thought this is risky, but everyone already moved, so you moving would be worse. So yes, that's perfectly fine. As long as we're being super predictable and not causing extra danger.
Someone check program planning for me real quick.
Nothing that we need to deal with right now.
Okay.
I don't know if I was heard, but baits were significantly better that time.
Excellent. Let's keep that up. Everyone is responsible. And shift. Looks like our ranged obelisk is filthy, so ranged, your puddle drop is going to be a little funky. Just be constrained with it. You can step forward after these if you want to dodge out of the way. Arrows nothing. Arrows nothing. Res filthy. Watch the interrupt. Next arrows are also hitting nothing. We're having a rough time on the damage there.
Like almost all the droplets are just going to him.
Moving it far away makes it rough too. We're moving away from where the stack is going.
Can you test how far toward the middle you can go, Mono? This pull is dead. How far before it snaps? If we can, yeah, okay. We don't need to be going crazy then. So better puddle baits will make this free. Okay. Release from back. Ranged, we're gonna play much further to the right.
Yeah, sorry, Dan. I'm just cut off at that point. I have to move that way.
Yep.
Our puddles are way too close to the middle.
I didn't know how far I could go.
So things got a little funky there. The range didn't move because the ranged obelisk was on filthy, so they didn't have to move. But what we're going to want to do is definitely have the puddles baited much, much further to the right. I think we should genuinely start where Ellie is. Just be at the edge. Be careful with your position.
Athena, are you taunting the little droplets?
No, not at all.
Crazy.
I just have a lot of AoE.
Anything in the vicinity is probably just getting randomly smacked. Mono has to, with the positioning being better, Mono can play closer to the middle and then be able to reach a lot more of them. Crass will be able to reach a lot more of them. And don't forget, if anyone's hitting your big damage burst window on Rip, you're psychotic and you're losing damage and you're going to Grey Parse. Damage amp is what happens when we kill the little tiny droplets. It is a damage amp on the boss. You want to hold that damage as long as you reasonably can without losing a use. Yeah, probably Infernal. You're getting 2 uses in P1, right? So that's a different story. 3 minutes have to go on Rip, but 2 minutes can wait quite a while. Outlaw's not a real class.
Valid.
Outlaw doesn't have CD timings. Don't you fucking lie to me. Obelisk and Arrow can target you at the same time, but is it actually at the same? Oh, yeah, it could be if everyone's dead. Yeah. Let's see if we have any weird overlappy instances in problematic places when people aren't dead. All right. Now, just be careful, ranged, that when you move out of the way of the obelisk, you don't walk right off the edge.
That's in
Shifting out of obelisks. Puddles are going to get baited on the back here, behind Demiar, where the ranged are. Don't worry, don't worry. Drop your puddle in the previous bomb. It's safe. You don't have to move. Then you can move after the drop-off. Arrows, nothing. Watch that interrupt. Second arrows are also hitting nothing. Need that damage on Demiar, gang. You can do it. Do not hit anything. You can shift to Morium now. Demiar will passive die. Bait puddles, and after the puddles get baited, once the arrows have targeted, we need an arrow on Demiar. After the arrow goes out, ranged can gate. 1 arrow Demiar. Make sure we're gathering the droplets onto the boss and keeping them there. This arrow hits nothing. We're baiting ranged. Make sure you're not cutting off the melee. You can leave and go Varellis. Next arrow hits Morium. 1 arrow on Morium. Other one on nothing. Get all the droplets in, help your tanks get them in, CC them when that happens to keep them in, ideally. And 10 seconds to kill. One arrow is going to have to hit Varellus. He enrages in 2. And can jump.
I think it's real angry.
He gets real angry. Take a quick peek at deaths just to make sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time telling what I'm dying to.
A lot of people getting hit by the swirlies on the ground. You're getting stacks of the bullshit that you shouldn't be getting.
Melee, you have to be so careful not to stand in the puddles after the droplets die. It will debuff you with the damage amp the same way it debuffs the boss, and every mechanic will kill you.
Okay.
Healers, also, I don't think we are respecting Null Corona very much. I feel like we need to be really careful about people who are low getting that and dispelling them.
I've been dispelling them like on cooldown if they're below 40, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing too.
Yep,
Okay,
keep an
well,
eye-
I mean, yeah, I just see people dying to it, so.
keep an eye on it. I would be a little bit more generous with the threshold. I know it sucks with hot healing, but like, this is mythic. Assume mechanics do half your health. People need to be dispelled once they're below probably 60.
Roger. Could we have people peel off Morium faster?
Yes.
Because what's happening right now basically is mechanics going out getting assigned, but the people are surrounding a 0% boss because we've already killed it. So in
Yeah.
theory, to get extra damage, those people who are targeted by the mechanics can finish off Morium.
Yep, that's a great point. Between people targeted by mechanics as well as Hildy, Fixer, Mafo, potentially even Pumpy, and I think mages even have weird janky cleave. We can leave those bosses really early. They're gonna have tons of stacks on them. So even when they've got like 20 million HP left, I think like 3 people could probably kill it before the next arrow. That is a good call out. We should leave much sooner. Shuffle on in, range stack. Just be careful with your pre-pulls. You're playing close to the boss, so account for that. And remember obelisk targets. Try to be pointing the beam off the arena, trying not to have it through the raid, so that people don't have to think about where they're dodging.
You want it to be safe, just off the puddle, and you are standing towards the raid.
Melee, yours are always going to be hard. I believe in you, though. Watch the interrupt, shift over for the puddle bait ranged. You can drop the bombs in the other puddle, and once they drop, leave. Arrows nothing. Watch the interrupt. These arrows are hitting nothing. Range swap targets, melee swap targets. Contemorium. Watch the interrupt, final cast, res tank. When the arrows get targeted, the ranged who are untargeted can leave. One on Demiar, Mafo's got it. Careful, after the obelisk.
I just accidentally fat fingered.
Whoa, okay, let's jump and go again.
Did not realize that gate was on me. I'm so sorry.
All good.
What a coincidence.
Wonder.
I believe that gate's going to be there every time, Filthy.
No, I just didn't see it. Like I didn't even mean to hit my keybind for it too. I fat fingered it and it just.
Yeah.
I
First
sent
death I got
myself
hit by an
over with
obelisk.
the. Yeah.
It's pretty funny. When we get through P1 cleanly, P1 genuinely feels the most chaotic out of the entire fight. Like, just with the amount of space that we're working with and the target swapping, it feels harder than the rest. I think what might be safer is if that gate is going a little bit more toward X on the far end, just sort of cutting more across the middle. Ranged can backstep out after taking the gate if they need to, but that's going to make it less likely that it's going through the melee stack. Yeah, I think that's better. Thank you. Hop into position. Moving out of obelisks to the right ranged. Make sure the target's not inside the stack. Careful of the melee beam, that's a great position. Dropping all the drop-offs on top of each other and scooting over again. That puddle may cause problems. Arrow nothing, get them off. Watch that interrupt.
You have the obelisk. You can't be standing that far out into other people.
Right up against your circle. Arrow nothing. Swap targets. Watch the interrupt. Last one. Next arrow is on Demiar. One arrow on Demiar, other one off raid. When all targets are targeted, you can leave. Range can cross as safe. Let's res tie. Arrow nothing. Melee leave. Go next boss. Yeah, I can call that way the fuck sooner. All damage Varellus. Arrow on Morium. One on Morium. Filthy's got it. Slam damage on Varellus here. The Hardened Rage is 20 seconds. We are fine. Arrow on Varellus. One. Kill it. Careful tank, you're about to get slapped. Alright, go into X marker. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Toward the edge. Follow the wave. Every other arrow, you must get hit. If you miss something, hit a movement speed refresh, something like that to keep up. Do not fall behind. Kill squad, you are going to be crossing back over after this behind you. It's going to be hard. There's a little bit of space there where the orbs clear out so you can cross. Day, if you can blink over there as well. One healer. Good luck, Yoseki. Range step back. You want to bait about 20 yards away from the left edge. Gather all the shit. Get kicks.
Is this where we lust?
Yes, that would be lust. Puddles are getting baited in the back corner at this point. Arrows on boss. Arrows on boss. If your camera just panned out, you have an arrow targeting now. Somebody in melee also had a puddle. Be careful. So, obelisks. Let's practice. These two people try to hit the ghosts. Melee on the far platform. Okay, we're dead.
A Simulacrum did not die.
Yeah.
I died in the
Is there
process of trying to
supposed to
point
be?
it, so.
Is there supposed to be a healer that goes on the kill squad also? Or
No, there
they
should
were
be.
just melting. Both mages died in like 10 seconds.
You should be able to hit the simulacrum from far enough away that you're in range of all the healers. You won't be in like Yoseki's heal circle, but all the healers should still be able to reach. The reason they died was because you were one healing.
Well, I guess I popped up and I had to go to like there, like almost to the corner to reach them.
Okay, yeah. Play much closer. Kill squad. Obviously, Day, I sent you as an emergency and you couldn't be healed, but
understood. And well, if I have meta, I didn't have it there, but if I had meta, I could probably leech it too. That really wasn't that deadly for me.
Yeah, but mage, warlock, pumpy gang. Play at absolute max range as close to the rest of the raid as possible.
Athena repair.
We're getting a little bit cleaner, but we're having a lot of early deaths to stuff. Don't be hesitant with your defensives and healing while we're progging P1.
Does Corona stop after phase 1?
The heal absorb sure doesn't.
I did not see any pop off there in phase 2.
I'm pretty sure it keeps on coming. I'll fact check that. You're actually, there are none in P2. Just comes back in P3 again. That's good to know. Baiting obelisk and then shuffling over to bait puddles after. Interrupt in 2.
Range watch that line.
Remember, when you see that bomb, it's not going off right away until all the other ones drop. Then it goes off. Arrow nothing. Watch interrupt. Range, you can swap off Demiar. Melee, you can swap off Demiar. Arrow Demiar. Beauty. Much better damage, guys. Now we have to be less scared. As soon as you see Void Expulsions, ranged, you can go on the gate as soon as you're targeted or not. Arrows on nothing. Arrows on nothing. Careful of the obelisk beams. Melee, you can leave. Go Varellus. Next to arrows on Morium. Ranged, you can target swap. Careful. Careful of that. Ranged, you're going to have to stay on Morium for a bit. We peeled too much damage with the snap. That's my bad call. Arrows on nothing. Remaining damage, all Varellus. Make sure that all the droplets are getting under there, and if he does the big AoE thing, we CC the droplets so that they're not leaving. Just like on Voracious, we want them to die under boss. One arrow has to hit Varellus here. Enrage is in 3. Do what you can. All right.
X.
Gather up to X. Be liberal with your movements things. Make sure you're getting hit by every other arrow. And kill squad, as you lag behind, there will be a gap for you to go back to triangle platform after. The gap is not there yet. The gap has formed, but there are still danger orbs. Melee playing tight where the boss is. And ranged, you're going to step back off the boss. Make sure you're out toward the edge. I have bad POV, but we'll make it work. These obelisks don't matter. Kill squad are killing shit. Just don't kill each other. Silver strike arrows. I need all the targets to be running up to the boss and making sure the lines go through her. Ranged bait far to the right, like 20 yards away from these puddles at least. All ranged who are not targeted by mechanics. Scoot, 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 scoot. Then shift left range. Shift left. Okay, we had Filthy, you're going to have to hit the one on the left. And Melee, you're going to have to hit someone else.
You're still shifting left for dropping puddles.
Shift right. Okay, we had a Melee who didn't know they were targeted by the puddle drop. It's in Melee.
That was me.
Obelisks, and then ranged, you're going to have to shuffle to drop the puddles. There's not a lot of room. Be careful. So Melee, remember, when you have an obelisk in P2, you have to try to aim it at the furthest ghost. That one was on the X platform. You can see if you look right now before we wipe, there's one on the star marker over there. The previous set, there's one on the triangle platform that needed to be hit as well. We are dead. So I need the most important thing on this phase is going to be doing this dance, and I need every single player to make sure they are 100% aware when they're targeted by any mechanic.
I don't know if it was emphasized enough that when, for those that are aiming at, oh, Jesus Christ, those that are aiming at the Rift Guardian, what are they called? Rift
Ghosts.
Rift
Just call it
Ghosts.
Ghost, yeah.
You will know when you're lined up because the ghost will change colors. It will go from white to purple. So you don't need to know, like, it's going to be hard to tell if you're exactly lined up, but it will change colors when you are on target.
Yep.
They don't move, so the second it glows, you stop moving.
All right. Hip's death was somebody hitting him with a laser beam from an obelisk. Solarita's death was obelisk. Onage was the target of an obelisk and bled out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the debuff on him.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I feel like there are close angles, Chocolate. But also there were feathers on your simulacrum platform. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
There may not always be, but
with the G-Invis speed boost and slow fall, you should be able to easily make it as long as you jump straight from one platform to the other and not at a super weird angle. Awesome. Thank you, Filthy.
How did the healing feel on the kill squad over there? That run?
Easy, good.
Okay.
Healing.
Great job. Oh yeah, it drops feathers when it dies. I see that. That's quite nice. So if you're really scared, you can grab a feather off the ground.
Can't always rely on the feathers. They will be oddly placed. So we're coming up towards feast. We've got 5 minutes left. Probably just wait for another pull.
Just do a pull, yeah. Because what we can do is we can do our pull, and if it's a good pull, maybe we take our break after. Play cozy ranged, nice and cozy. You were always playing stacked. You will never not be stacked. Scooting for puddle bait. Careful of the melee beam. Puddle bombs can go after the obelisks. Arrows on nothing. Watch the next interrupt from Demiar. It's coming in a second here. Here it comes.
Here's tank.
Res Athena. Find her. Melee can leave. Arrow on Demiar. Ranged can target swap as soon as the arrow hits. These arrows can be on nothing and ranged when you feel safe. You can shift up to the next position. There's a lot of shit going on, so be careful. I take it we lost all of our droplets when Athena died.
Yeah, they went to the range tank.
Okay, we're gonna have a really fucked situation here. This arrow has to hit nothing.
Including the range tank.
Yeah. Alright,
Hey.
melee, it's looking dangerous. Melee, get out of there. Head over to Varellus to start peeling those down. Range, stay on Morium. Ranged hard, stay Morium.
I died.
Ah, we're dead. Jump.
So we need to solve for obelisk plus the health, or the healing absorb, because that just killed me again. And if we're having multiple people die to that, I don't know what we do. But
if healers see somebody targeted by an obelisk who has a heal absorb, get the fucking heal absorb off them. It does not matter what their health level is.
yeah, I popped defensive and health pot and health stone. Still couldn't make it in time.
Yeah, that'll just have to be a matter of being able to see the debuff.
Question about the melee stack. So it seems like right at the beginning we're all on the side that's closest to where the range is standing, and then we're moving to the opposite side, so it's being faced at the ranged every time. Should we not start on the opposite side?
I agree that I think that makes a lot more sense to be trying to point that away. So what that means for melee, at the very start of the fight here, as things are most chaotic, you should be, of the two sides of Demiar, be on the square side of Demiar to bait your obelisk melee. Like, as you charge in, just run to the other side of him to bait the obelisk over there, and that way your beam will not be pointed at anyone.
So you're baiting towards square and then moving your puddle left. Like,
I don't like the word puddle there, but
or well, you're baiting your obelisk to drop on, and then you're moving past your past your obelisk.
yeah, like if you see the little like spike on the golden circle on the ground behind Demiar, somewhere over there is where you guys should start the fight. Obviously in melee range, then go through the boss to the other side, so that you're back together with the ranged camp after the baits.
It does mean it'll be a little extra dangerous if you get Corona, because you're running away from healers.
No. So the circle of the obelisk is going to be like on the square side of the platform, but the player is moving back toward the healers after dropping that circle.
Okay. Bet. Even better.
Because melee can keep melee uptime while they're targeted. They just have to not point the beam at bad people.
Are we breaking or feasting?
Let's do one, just pull. Don't worry about the feast. Just do a pull. Okay. We'll take our break after this, regardless of how it goes. I just want to lock that in. So again, melee, you don't want to be on the same side as the ranged to start with. Be on the other side from the ranged. Follow hip. Good. And we're dropping our puddle baits where the range stack is now, which is perfect. This is so much safer for everyone. Great, great, great idea. Make sure we drop off puddles. No, Pilgrim, bad spot. On the other ones next time. Arrows, nothing. Interrupting shout in 3. Watch your cast. Arrows, nothing. Y'all should be on the other boss already. I didn't hit my push to talk. The next arrow, one goes on Demiar. After all the mechanics are out, people can start gating when they're not targeted. Find safe places. Filthy on Demiar? Or sorry, not Filthy, whoever it is. Oh shit, we missed it.
Yeah, that was trippy. It did look like it was me, but it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure that will enrage and kill us in a second here.
Take time.
Jump. We'll take a break. Our damage is just inconsistent enough that I don't feel comfortable putting an arrow on Demiar every time on the second one. We need to try to tidy up how we're doing that.
The arrow positioning is really rough, especially when we're transitioning to the next boss.
Yeah.
I think that's because our stacks are really fucking bad.
Yeah.
If we were all tighter, it would be way easier to put those out.
So we'll take our break here. I'm gonna stream Warcraft Recorder and just take a quick look at our positioning in the last couple pulls for P1 stuff. Refresh
honestly,
yourself.
after
You do not need to stick around for the review because we'll talk about it again after the break. But if you want to watch and you don't have anything better to do, feel free to watch. Enjoy.
To make sure I'm understanding something, with the arrow baits, we moved, or the obelisk, we changed that pull, so we're not baiting it towards the ranged.
Yes.
So we were on the triangle side, in between where the ranged is and Demiar, and there was an arrow that was just going, a silver arrow that was just going through where we were supposed to be standing. Is that just a remnant of us being on the opposite side before?
So this is on when we moved over to Morium, are you talking? Or
No, on Demiar. It was just on the where melee was supposed to be.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Do we have a break timer going?
Doesn't look like it.
Thank you. Oh, my buffering god. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, I need to not hope. Maybe another POV will load faster. Okay. So this is very nice for the melee and the ranged, pointing their beams at different directions, not being hitting each other. Very good, very good. Ideally, all the ranged are moving out of this together, because if that puddle got baited on Hildy, that would be a problem. All of the, like, as soon as we see this circle, there is no fear yet. People can stand in it. It's fine. This absolutely needs to go on top of the other one. We should always be trying to place the drop-offs in the previous bomb, or as close as possible. Hips was fine, staying in uptime range. Pilgrims was very not fine. These arrows definitely should have moved. This is so dangerous to have this arrow here.
Yeah, just like half health the whole raid.
Is that
on me?
That's you, Ellie.
Impossible.
It's bad news. I can double check that, because just like the one on Filthy, could be wrong, but the one not on Filthy. No, I can't. Your POV is laggy as shit for some reason.
He deleted it.
Yeah.
No evidence.
Hide the
On
evidence.
me.
All right, anyway, we shift over here. I definitely should have called a move sooner. Not yet, but probably like here, people could start leaving. Because you can see, like, even Days filler casts are doing 300k at that point. People are still hitting a 1 HP boss there. A lot of people are. So on this set, this is the set where we have the most danger with our positioning. The ranged are all the fuck over the place. The melee are all the fuck over the place.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful if we had like a designated bait spot when we're transitioning over,
Yep.
because it's just kind of like vaguely in that area.
Yep, I firmly agree. We don't have a specific thing, so people are running like headless chickens. I suggest very strongly that what happens here is we come back. So we're shifting over. Assume this puddle isn't here, and the ranged can just like be. What's the order of operations here? Is it expulsion then obelisks? Yeah. So we can have our puddle drops happening like here, shift over a little bit, have our obelisks. Obelisk player can step forward toward the gate and take it after. People who are dropping puddles can step forward to the gate. Like, have this whole area clear. I don't know how to very easily visualize this, but like, in 2 seconds, the ranged are all here. They move out. If they are not targeted by a mechanic, they move out. And then we have the obelisks. And if they're not targeted by a mechanic, they move up to the gate. And then the arrows come out, and we can figure out if you're targeted by an arrow or not. And if you are, you go here, and if you're not, you take the gate. Just like straight line movements from the first obelisk to the first puddles to the second puddles to the second obelisk. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We want to expand the P1 raid plan to have some more markings. Because I definitely think we needed to see it to fully process where the problem points would be. And now we are definitely seeing this is a huge problem point right here. Because the obelisks and the people are trying to figure out what the fuck to do with their puddle drops, and the arrows are happening.
Yeah, it should range. So any range that doesn't have an arrow or an obelisk should be taking the gate at that point.
Get the fuck out of the way. Yeah.
When
Okay,
the
we're gonna
obelisks
go
drop,
ahead.
or when after the arrows go out?
In this
arrows are
case,
targeted.
the arrows, we have to wait for the arrow targeting because Demiar still needs to be hit.
Right.
So it's sort of like a 1, 2, 3 mechanic check, and if you have none of the mechanics, you can leave. And as soon as you're done a mechanic, you can leave.
Bet.
So 1, 2, 3. But if we just move as a stack the whole time, everything will be fine. And I
Fix
do-
the thing if we wanted to mark a ranged person as the stack.
That's a really good idea. Most groups do that. Who gets to be the marker, though?
Yoseki?
Oh hell no!
But you're so damn trustworthy.
I am not. I'm the one running around with like a chicken with its head cut off, dude. I'm like, I'm fucking this up so bad right now. But
I guess if Day is the stack, then we'll always be in
Oh.
Demon Hunter and Evoker range.
That's a good point. How do you feel about that? If you're there.
I just came back. I don't volunteer, but sure, why not?
Who
should know better than Day where we should be at any time?
The raid planner himself.
Not true.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, go
I
ahead.
have a question. Are defensives hard assigned anywhere in this first phase?
Not in first phase.
So would it be
arrow.
smart to have people who get the absorb to immediately just pop defensives? Because I feel like so many people are getting it and they're immediately dropping to like 50, 40% health. We have to dispel to the next person. And then the same thing keeps happening. And it just repeats and repeats.
Right.
I feel like people aren't, like when I get it, I pop my shit immediately and it stays on me for a while. My health doesn't drop.
So, I mean, there's a couple danger points where people do want to worry. Like if you're targeted by an obelisk, that dot hits like a truck. If you're targeted by an arrow, it does 80% of your health. I think if
It definitely needs to be safe for arrow. If you've got like multiples, then sure.
yeah, It's tough. It's tough. Like, I mean, if you get the heal absorb on you and you just rip a defensive when nothing's happening, like there's no bombs going off, it's kind of a waste. I think people need to be sort of aware.
Or if like you get insta dispelled, is sort of happening sometimes.
Yeah.
So
There's also a, like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while, there's a small, like, travel time almost between a dispel and the heal absorb getting reapplied, right?
Yes. So busted.
There's some sort of gaming that could be done there, I guess, in a way.
There's
I've been
also-
saying this since Heroic, and it's been driving me crazy because I'm pretty sure if you just spam dispel it the second it comes out, you don't have to deal with it at all.
That's a lot of dispels.
Yeah,
I mean,
RP
there's
all
points
mana.
where we're getting double the dispels or double the debuffs out.
My
fall behind.
I was operating under the assumption that having a Resto Druid means all the absorbs just get healed off, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Not when people immediately drop to 50% and have to be dispelled, and I can't ramp on them.
Yeah, it does take 4 globals to get a good ramp started.
Because then we have the dispel or like the absorb with no shield on it, just sitting on somebody for the full duration. But if we dispel that, it doesn't increase the absorb or anything, right?
No, they dispel. It moves whatever's left when you dispel it. So the issue here is it bounces onto somebody right as a mechanic's coming out, and then we just have to bounce it again. It's a hard balance of trying to get as much healing on these people as fast as possible before a mechanic puts them in danger.
Yeah, and do any of y'all's raid frames show when people have obelisk or arrow? Because mine do not, and I'm not sure that I can.
So we should
Mine
be able
don't.
to see. So on this, for example, who has that? That is on Pumpy.
Pumpy?
That debuff.
And Crass. Okay.
Yeah, so Fixer is the target of a drop off, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure what that was. But Pumpy has
It's
this
just
one.
the generic raid debuff.
Yeah. And then where's Cross is dead. Fucking hell. Trying to see these come out. There's Cross. There's the obelisk targeting Cross. And Cross explodes instantly. So you can see it on your frames. And then these are the arrow targets. Anything bottom left corner, if they have a heal absorb on them, they're in danger. That's a good general rule.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where's my timer gone? Where's my break timer gone?
Because we're done.
Ah. Go figure. Okay.
This is a pulse check.
Pulse check. Are we here? Are we alive?
I believe
As long
Evan
as
stepped
Pulse
away
Check
for a
has
second.
pretty much everyone here, I can get Feast down.
Athena, Pyro.
I believe Evan said she was not going to be here for the ready check, but should be back shortly.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I missed the moon. What's the moon?
What is the moon?
That was when we were talking about having a point to go to.
Ah, okay. Pyro, Mind Rod, we here?
I'm here, sorry.
Okay. Don't need Evan for this part. So jump on my stream, folks. Just want to point out a positioning shift because there is a big danger moment and we're making it more dangerous than it needs to be. So just jump in my stream. I'm going to start in 10 seconds. Give people time. Okay, ranged, paying attention. So this is coming out of our first drop off. Actually, I'm gonna back this up. Okay, so let's just run through this position because this was really good. So we start the fight, first obelisk. All the ranged move as a stack to the right, except that one, but we won't worry about that. To bait the puddles. The puddle bomb shows up here. This is not scary. You don't need to fear the bomb. The bomb is not scary. Wait for mechanics to resolve, and then you move out of it. People with the arrows should all be stepping into the bomb to drop off their puddles. Pilgrim did not do that in the future. Stack them all up. We'll pretend we'll have to worry about this for now, but then we're shifting over. So the range should still be moving as a stack from here. All the range should be sidestepping out of all these mechanics, shifting over to be in range of the next boss. We'll be following Day and Evokers here, probably for range purposes. But now we're going into the next set of mechanics here. There's going to be another puddle bait, another obelisk bait, and then some more arrows. We need the range to be moving as a group. So you're in range of the boss here. Mechanics are coming out. The ranged are pixel stacked to bait the puddles. You got your puddle bomb here. If you are targeted by the puddle drop, you can go stand here to drop the puddles inside this thing. Then all the ranged move over and bait the obelisk. The obelisk is going to go right here, and the puddle people don't have to worry about it. If you're not targeted by the obelisk, you can step forward to the gate. The obelisk person can also step forward, and then all the beams are going away from the raid, and no one has to worry about them. And then we'll have the arrows coming from the boss. If you have an arrow, you can stay behind, hit the boss if you need to. If you don't, then you can take the gate over. So it's a little bit of a sequence. As we switch targets from Demiar to Morium, we bait, then we bait, and then we gate. Bait, bait, gate. Any questions? Perfect.
I do want to call it out to make sure the range, they are moving, but the arrows should also move too to make sure they're not hitting the melee stack.
With the silver arrows?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't hit players with silver strike arrows, baseline.
But if a person is out of position, you kind of just need to be where you need to be, right? They need to move.
If you need to hit a boss with an arrow, that is the top priority above anything else. If someone else gets hit by it, it's their fault. If you do not have something to do with the arrow, move it off of the bulk of the raid. If someone is out of position, that is their fault.
But
the raid is moving as two tight stacks. The range stack is always moving as a stack. The melee stack is always moving as a stack. If you have a mechanic, you're stepping a little bit off the stack. Like, say you have obelisks. If you have obelisks, this is your circle of obelisks. You are here, while the rest of the raid is here.
Please try not to snipe me with them.
We're trying our absolute damnedest to never point the beams at another player. When we start the fight, we're doing this positioning specifically because Eben is here, the ranged are here, the melee are here, and all the beams are going away from everyone. When we go to the next position, over here, we have Athena, we have the melee, we have the ranged, and we have the melee obelisks going this way and the ranged obelisks going this way. We should very easily be able to do that every time.
Do you want me to move the markers that we have currently on the outside? Those were meant for the first baits on obelisks for range. Basically in the corner, and then you would move, like, so where purple is right now, it was here, so we would bait on the corner, and then we would move to the marker for the obelisk, and then we can move back.
Right, okay. Yeah, purple where it is good. The center markers, I think they're fine. We're more worried about the P2, P3 stuff with center markers.
Okay.
I don't think we need a marker. I think we just need range to be aware of other players and be able to see each other and move as a group.
Okay.
We feasted, yes?
Negative.
Let's eat our food and let's get going.
One last quick question. As ranged, we should probably always be cheating to the outside of the ring, right? Like this metal area.
Generally. The further up you are, the harder it will be to aim silver strike arrows later because the puddles spread. So, like, unironically, where everyone is sitting eating that feast is not a bad place for the second puddle drop to be. Just right there.
We're gonna double check flasks, oils, all of it, and then get in position. Careful not to move up too far.
And remember, be careful when you are sidestepping out of that obelisk because you could definitely just fall off that crack. Do not fear the expulsion circle. The expulsion
Pilgrim.
circle does no damage.
UFK, are you here?
Sorry, I need a quick minute.
Okay. Can you click feast so it doesn't fall away?
Awesome.
Tide check flask.
With respect to moving off the bosses, remember that the lower the health is, the more damage amp stacks they have, the earlier we can peel off. You should not ever be sending casts into a boss that has 2 million health left. Literally, Shadowward Pain ticks are going to kill that.
I have one quick question. It might have just been a positioning thing, but at any point, like, say we're over there, right? And I get, what's it called? Arrow? Drops. At any point, should I be close to it? Like, should anybody be close to overlapping and dropping their puddles near me if I'm at the edge of mine?
Dropping puddles can be overlapped on top of each other. The void expulsion puddles, where the bomb drops and it leaves a puddle behind, you can stack those. You can pixel stack all 5 of them. You can drop them inside the previous bomb.
Better if you do.
Like showing here, this is a great piece of footage here. This circle pops. This is the first one that got randomly baited, and all the other players should just run inside this circle. It doesn't do damage. When all of them drop, then you step out, and then it's going to pop 2 seconds later there. That's when it does damage. But if we're having them all stacked like that, that's perfect. These are great. This is decent. This is bad.
Sorry, I guess my question didn't really make sense. If I'm on the edge of my my expulsion, so go back a little bit, a few seconds. So, come on. Where's expulsion?
Oh, you're talking about the obelisk?
Yeah. So say if I'm here, sorry, obelisk. Yeah, if I'm there, say that's me on the obelisk on that edge. At any point, should anybody come drop their circle near me, or that was just like a positioning thing?
It was a positioning thing. So this is where these should be, where you're here and they're here, and we're trying to do the same thing over here, where you'd be there and they'd be here, not on top of you.
Okay, yeah. I was just asking because I had one pull where it was like literally I was already positioned, and there was a puddle that just came drop over me, so I was like, what the hell?
Just don't forget.
If it does drop on you, it's not.
This is not dangerous.
Yeah,
okay.
It takes
just after the explosion. Yeah, gotcha.
All right, let's get a red check. If we didn't already. Let's go, gamers. We have a plan. We have now made a plan for the hardest part of P1. And by doing so, no one will die, and that will mean that the DPS check is literally free. Get ready. Remember melee, you're crossing to the other side of the boss so that you bait your obelisk away from ranged. Perfect. Crass you too. Oh, never mind. You're good. All the puddles are going onto the range stack. Wait for obelisks before you move. And you can shift. Arrows off. Make sure there's lots of clearance. Can shift again, ranged. And we can peel off Demiar. This arrow should be able to hit safely as long as people are still hitting. Range stack. Stack for bait ranged.
Taking.
That missed. That's okay. Stack, stack, stack for baits. After the puddle baits, shift toward Morium for the next bait. And step toward the gate. Arrow onto back previous boss. And same thing here, ranged. You're going to have obelisks. Get the arrows off. No one. Shift away, bait the puddle, then shift away. Why is Morium so healthy?
I think enough.
Jump off.
Enough
Otherwise-
droplets
not
got
doing any droplets.
onto range, and then it didn't get onto boss.
I'm fighting
Let's
these
get
droplets.
The bait position for the second obelisk.
Sorry, what was that, Ellie?
Can we look at the bait position for the second obelisk there? It was like very close to the gate.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Once we load in here, once we get a POV, hopefully we don't buffer too long here.
For the droplets that aren't ranged, wouldn't it just be real easy to throw a statue and taunt it on them? Since you don't have to worry about the other boss there.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm statue taunting whatever droplets and Morium that Eben has, and then I have to wait 30 seconds
Gotcha.
for obelisk again. It's just like, or 10 seconds, I guess.
Just gonna have to throw some kegs over there, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to do what I can.
So here with this setup, so this boss probably could be closer to us. There's a lot of tether snap range here. What we want ideally is for this to be a bit closer over if we can. Ranged are dropping puddles like here. Just, I guess this is probably Daya's max range, I assume?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. In that case, then we would just shift everything over, right? So the obelisk, it ended up being here, that's fine. Because if you step toward the gate, no one gets hit by shit. Just need to not panic and trust the plan of if you're not targeted by mechanics, you can go take the gate.
And then the other thing is when we are trying to shoot Demiar, it's also when a lot of melee are running, and I think we had both lines lined up on it.
Trying to shoot Demiar.
Yeah, when Hip and Chocolate die, here. Like we're moving the boss and arrows and the whole raid.
Right. That's okay. So that's just a relic of that exact timing. Unfortunately, we'll just have to either do it earlier or later again.
Like if when we're shooting Demiar, is it worth having Mono just hold Demiar there for a minute and then leaving after he gets shot?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because there's nothing that Athena needs. Like maybe one stack of damage amp onto Verlis by leaving later. We definitely should be trying to hold Demiar in place if we can for that arrow. That cause any problems, Tanks?
What?
Sorry, we're
just
talking different problem.
So making sure that somebody's just sort of holding Demiar in position while the arrows are trying to hit it, and then doing your swap after.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I just moved when you say move. I can definitely just
Gotcha.
stay.
Yeah, if we've got if we're trying to do the second arrow, we need Demiar to be planted basically. If we're way behind and it's going to be third arrow, then you're not going to be there, and he's just going to be sitting there casting anyway, right? Okay. Okay. Let's continue onward.
Do you want to say something silly?
Something silly.
Yeah.
Rebuff on all the buffs, please. Athena, make sure you repair.
What in the fuck?
Right?
Day, can you repush the note?
Yep.
It's pretty silly.
So that's Cursed Hammer, not Blessed Hammer.
Right?
All right. Anyway.
I didn't hit Morium.
Terrifying.
Did everyone get that?
I think you need to pull it from that side.
Oh, you want me? Oh, you want a new note?
Yeah, sorry, I had to make an
Okay.
update.
You're saying push the note versus update the note. Different.
Let me know when you're done with the note.
All right, done.
Good. Thank you. All right, gamers. Lock in. Clean P1, no deaths.
Okay, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Shift for obelisks. Careful of the lines. Very nice. Puddles, drop-offs on top of the previous puddle. Melee, that's you if you have them. You can shift. Ranged, you can shift decently as much as you want here, but stay as a group. Arrows off. Don't hit anything. Watch this interrupt. Shifting again. You can start multi-dotting Morium if you weren't already. Arrow Demiar and DPS shift over. Perfect. Now range
I'm
tight
taunting
stack.
everything.
Obelisks. Okay, if you're not targeted, take gate. Arrows nothing. This arrow onto Morium, if we can. Damage onto Varellus. Watch it. Careful with that. Spooky ass beam. Beam nothing. And Varellus must die soon. We're on good pace. You have 15 seconds. Careful melee. Shit's about to get chaotic. Arrow's gonna have to hit Varellus. It looks like we're on pace to make this kill.
Somebody hit him. Please, somebody hit it.
And we enraged.
Why? What the fuck? What?
I thought I
Alright.
saw the other person moving. So I planned.
Alright. We're gonna need to... They were equidistant on either side. Both assumed the other would go.
Is there any downside to a second one other than them murdering each other?
No, in that case, like, it's tough on that last one because we need to milk every last bit of damage, so you don't want melee to be stepping off boss there if we can avoid it. But
what I was kind of getting at, though, but what I mean is, by default, because we know we're going to be putting it no matter what, people should be booking it to it regardless, and then peel off if it's obvious it's covered by that point.
Yeah, I agree with that. On that last one, there's only one thing we're doing with the arrows. Both targets head over, and whoever's closer, whoever gets there first wins. Fast reactions on mechanics, and we'll be fine. We go again. You'll notice that the damage was a lot better, and the baits felt a lot safer in the first half. Try not to let the chaos take you. Range should be moving together as a stack the entire fight. And if you're not sure where to be, follow Day. Day has limited range, so he is the outer limit of how far away ranged can be.
Rebuffs for Athena, please.
Athena, you're out of range of rebuffs a lot of the time.
Stop having fun.
Sorry.
Somebody lost
Dragon
it.
buff. Thank you. We're good.
We've lusted. It's
Yeah,
fine.
somebody drummed.
Doesn't matter. It'll do very little.
Yeah.
Your opener might feel a little weird. Be very careful, range, to not step too far. Drop-offs are going in the previous one. Remember, you don't need to move until obelisks go off. You do need to move when all the bombs drop. After the next obelisks we're shifting over, try not to go too early. Range can start moving, but we need to keep a bit of damage on Demi. All right, we can hit Demi with the next arrow. Melee leave, ranged leave. Tank, keep him in position. Ranged, you need to be stacked. Follow De Mortis, star marker.
Taunting.
We're dropping the Void Expulsion and the Obelisk. Try not to move toward the gate till the Obelisk drops. No arrows, nothing. When you have no mechanics, you can take the gate. You probably should sooner than later. Watch the melee beam. Stay tight ranged. You're going to be baiting another puddle soon and some more obelisks. One arrow morium here is fine. Otherwise, we skip it. It's fine either way. All right. Ranged, again, try to play together so that we're minimizing the chaos. Play near the star marker.
I am lagging out, I think.
Okay, well, just play as a stack. Arrow nothing. And we are nuking down Varellus. We want to AoE the first few waves of droplets to make sure he gets debuffed, and then hard single target him in the second half here. 10 seconds for the kill. Careful that you're not nuking. Arrow will be on Varellus. Good. Perfect. After mechanics go off, X side. Playing close to the glowy line under Illyria. Don't get too close, the orbs spawn on that line. Please remember, you can build your resources, you can off-heal, do whatever you need to do, but you must get hit by every other one of these arrows or you're in turbo danger. These swirlies will knock you across and kill you. Kill squad, be careful of the swirlies, but the wall behind you is just broken. All right.
You're pretty OP there.
That was, yeah, holy shit. Big brain. All right. Range, you want to step back. After the obelisks, it's fine, whatever. You're going to be heading into the corner for Void Expulsion, though. Please stop moving the fucking obelisk into the melee. Corner with the drops, corner with the drops, corner with the drops. Melee ranged, anyone who has them, into the corner, and then ranged to move up a decent chunk so that you have lots of room to work with. Further, further, toward the ghost. Ranged, you're baiting. Together, please. Shift left ranged. The targets are hitting the ghosts. Look, melee, you have a target too. Beautiful. You see it glows pink. After mechanics, you can shift back to your next bait position. You need a lot of room ranged. Be generous. More, more, more. Kale. Good. Be there. Ellie, move. When you see obelisk, we shift over again. You have targets. Ranged yours is far to the right. Looks like we missed. That is okay. Drop-offs near the previous poop and everyone else shift far. Silver Strike arrows always go to the boss. You run into the boss's hitbox with it so that you can make sure they all hit. Pixel stacking for obelisk baits. Ranged, you might be able to hit both here. Hildy be on the side with the range. Do your best. Are you a goat? Yes, you are.
Yeah, he is.
Holy fuck. King shit. All right. We're going to want to take the gate across probably on the next set. Make sure there's room obelisk bait, guys. Shift, ranged, further, further. You need so much room to work with. All right, so the ranged one is on the left, so you need to go to the right. Oh, you died with it. Okay, that's fine. All right, and we bled out. Progress.
Did Melee miss all of them?
Melee did not miss the first one, but the other three, yes.
I missed them because, like, straight up, I'm actually having a really hard time seeing both the line and the ad. simultaneously.
It does look hard. Yeah.
It's so the golden rule now that we're getting to P2 is, and this is almost doubly important for the melee. You got to drop absolutely everything you're doing, find the ghost when you're targeted, stop DPSing, stop everything, use your camera and your movement. You go straight into moving, find it, make sure it's glowing big in purple, because that means your beam is going through it, and plant your ass. If you can DPS from where you're standing, do so. If you can't, that's fine. But the number one thing is in P2, if a melee is targeted by an obelisk, you must hunt that ghost. Nothing else matters. Your damage doesn't matter. We will not survive the phase if you miss the ghost.
And for range, the cadence on that fight is going to be move to the right, drop obelisk. Everybody move left, aim the obelisk. Everybody stay, drop all the orbs, then everybody move back right for another obelisk.
You look at the drops in P1 and in P2.
You want to look at every single drop? Can you narrow it down?
Yeah, the second obelisk drop in P1. I think it makes it really clear when you're saying like people don't run out until you drop all your stuff. We can drop all 5 of the bombs inside of the obelisk before any of that is a problem.
So
like we can, yeah. So like right here.
The first puddle got baited on a ranged player. The obelisk is about to get baited on a ranged player. All of these can also be hanging out. Like, if you're scared to be in the obelisk, that is correct. You probably should be, but you can be very near there and just anywhere in that area. Probably you could drop it on the gate, frankly. These bombs don't really fucking matter.
Well, and the bombs don't or the obelisk doesn't explode until after the bombs have exploded. So you can still stay in the obelisk. It's not scary until...
It's terrifying because the target could die and kill the entire raid.
Oh, the obelisk target?
Yes, when the obelisk target dies, the beams shoot. You do not want to stand in there. But I do agree that, like, we can definitely pretty safely be shifting. Like, all of these could get dropped along the front of the obelisk here, or behind the gate, or where we were supposed to be dropping, which is slightly over or slightly over here. This is all fine, though, frankly.
Well, it kind of fucks Ty when we drop them.
I kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
But if you watch it, the obelisk does go off before the bomb, so I am fine.
Yeah. Okay. Like, it's scary, but it's fine. And like, at this point, there should be no ranged anywhere near you to even worry about hitting, because the ranged have all taken the gate or are aiming arrows away.
Okay, and then the first puddle drops in P2 were really good.
So going into P2 review here, there's our kill squad playing in the perfect position. Great job, guys, even stacked. So we're having chaos here. The very first thing that happens in this phase is going to be the puddle drop with the obelisk. This obelisk doesn't need to hit anything. So what we want to just do with this all is the same thing. We want to place the ranged here to bait the obelisk and move over to drop the puddles. And then we move back after the obelisk fires. And we can do that for the entirety of phase 2, including the start. This chaos is much panic and people not knowing where to go and being chased by laser beams. It's very lucky that that got baited on Yoseki and Kale there instead of up here. This would have probably destroyed us if there was a puddle here. We would not have survived the phase. So again, we start the phase. Obelisk, puddle, move up. Obelisk, puddle, move up. Obelisk, puddle, move up. That's phase 2. And just for the sake of the melee, please take a look at the stream if you aren't already. I want to show these obelisks and what they look like. So whoever's targeted here hits a beautiful shot. Take a look at this. This is what you're looking at melee. So I think that's Hip's got this one. Hip has stopped DPSing. He's standing. He's making sure he's not going to walk into the other one, but he's going to look for when this glows. Bam. Turn purple. Hip is now done. Hip AFKs until the beam goes off. and bam. Hip can resume doing things. That's the mechanic. That's your job, Melee. The ranged are dancing. You AFK and point laser pointers. All right. Back to game.
Will the furthest one always be melees? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the ranged one is always going to be either on our platform or just on the adjacent platform, like I don't know how to describe this without being able to ping, but like where just
Yes.
across the crack underneath the portal that's going to Demiar, that's about as far away as the ranged one's going to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we still want to soak the arrow in P2 like in heroic to?
Oh god, no! Don't
No.
worry about it. Healer problem.
Okay.
Don't pay a single ounce of attention to the arrow if you're not targeted by it. If you are targeted by it, the only thing that matters is hitting the boss. We want to try to hit the ads, but the boss is more important. Fantastic question. Whenever we're ready to go. Big gaming. Ranged, you are in the buddy system for the entire fight. Do not forget it. Careful melee. Drop off in the previous drop-offs. Nice. Arrow nothing. Moving out of this obelisk over so that you're getting toward range of Morium. You can leave Demiar damage, arrow onto Demiar, make sure it's get finished off, but peel off. Gonna have to, one more interrupt, Care. 3, 2, 1, pop. After the obelisk, if you have no mechanic, take the gate.
Just put mono.
Ranged, you're tight stacking over there once you're done with shit. Arrow nothing. Shift target. The next arrow goes onto Morium. In 5 seconds, it'll target people. Care with all the beams. Arrow, 1 on Morium, 1 on nothing. Everybody should already be on Varellus. Morium was dead a while ago. Burn the fucker to the ground. We need to kill the droplets on him. Do your best. And at this point, we just need to hard burn him. The arrow's going to be firing soon. Arrow has to hit one person. Okay, we are going to enrage here. He is nowhere near dead. You can jump off.
That's a lot of droplets that are out there unranged.
Yeah, what can we do about this? We don't want to have the ranged run in because bad timed range running in means puddle on boss means we die anyway.
Is there a specific point that it becomes a unique problem?
When they're about to die.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, every single droplet that dies needs to be dying under a boss.
Need to try to
Well,
have as
more
much
what I mean-
snap on them as we can. For
More what I
aggro, and
mean
then-
is there a point in the phase where it gets egregiously so where they're snapping to ranged?
Seems like it's a couple different points that it's been happening.
It's really just if they spawn while we're popping big AoE damage.
It's so bad sometimes I can't even, like, even just a K won't pull them, which is just fucking mind-boggling to me.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, at least when we get to Varellus, the off tank can just be running gather duty, right?
Yeah, I was questioning. I probably should have left Morium there and gathered up the droplets better. I kind of sat with Morium, kind of like how I did with Dez.
Would it be better for a statue taunt to not be on Athena's ads and let them just sit there until we get there and worry about the other ones?
Honestly, when Morium's down and Mono's coming to say Sporeless, if you want to just be on ad duty for a little while, cleaning those up, bring them in, that might be better. Because at least to start with, I still have defenses that I'm rolling with, and I don't need you taking it immediately.
Sounds good.
Big thing too is I'm just looking back at the recording too. They're just dying away from the boss. Like they're not even making it. They're just blowing up.
Yeah, and that's
And they're
just literally
spread.
going to be like that's going to be Starfall and Void Ray and shit that is uncontrollable and like mage icicles bouncing around.
Also, try not to move them as much as you can. I know it's hard, but it's I am trying to play like roughly max range, and a couple times collapsing stars like about to go off, and then it gets moved out, and I lose 8 seconds of DPS quite literally.
You talk about the boss?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm being completely honest, Day. I don't care about your damage.
I'd say shift up 5 yards, Day. The boss has to move, or else the tank gets puddled.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to A, avoid puddles on ourselves, and B, get the boss in puddles.
Okay.
It is shockingly hard to get these bosses in the puddles.
Yeah, they move really weirdly.
I know I'm not the only DPS. I'm just trying to make sure that we're getting the tempo down for P1.
Yeah, but no, it's a good point. I think the solution is just to play a little bit closer and further back ranged if we can. Like,
everyone check your flasks. They're getting low. You're gonna have to pop a new one anyways, and it will roll over on time.
And again, if we can get Morium played a little bit closer to the gate as well, just so that range don't have to be on the gate to be hitting it. There's a bit of tether leeway there.
So you want me to bring him closer to triangle on bull, or?
Just by the time that the DPS are moving over there, before we start gating, I would like him a bit closer to the gate. That can be on pull or that can be later.
Okay.
Whatever works for you guys. Game. Baiting the puddles. Remember, the bombs can be dropped in the previous bomb. Don't be afraid until you see them all, but then be very afraid. That's gorgeous. Arrow nothing. Get them off. Good. I've never seen better puddles.
Am I coming up?
Is Morium good?
I think so, yeah. All right, you can start shifting over. The arrow will hit Demiar. Damage off Demiar completely. Ranged your baiting shit. 3 seconds. Don't be on the gate. Further back, further back. Shift over as soon as you see stuff happening. Once you know you're not targeted, you can take gate. Arrow nothing. The next arrows are going to hit
Rest
nothing.
tank.
Rest tank. Find Athena. Arrows are on nothing. You can leave Morium. Go to Varellus now. Arrow nothing. I can call that even sooner.
Dead.
Keep going for a little bit. The next arrow has to hit Morium. It's targeting now. Mafo's got it. Just be careful with all these mechanics. 10 seconds for the kill. Arrow onto Varellus. Nice. Be careful. Be careful. Those are going to fire. Oh, we missed. Never mind. Not nice. How did we miss?
That's crazy.
How did both of those miss? They were both on it.
Did I move it off?
I don't think so. They're on either side of it.
I was not paying attention, so I apologize if it was me then.
No, you're good. Okay, so one thing that I've just realized that I'm an idiot for is we can peel off Morium way earlier. We can literally leave that to be Hildy Fixer Mafo's problem completely, because we're doing the 5th arrow on Morium, so he can just sit there getting dotted to death for like 20 seconds. And then we don't have to worry about the DPS check on Veralis at all.
Okay. It will potentially mean that it takes a lot less damage, so it might take a lot longer to die. But
we're having people peel off when it's like the melee is still straggling off, and a couple ranged aren't swapping until it's below 50 mil, and that's like we have 20 seconds from.
I was just noting like the arrow. If it's timing on the arrow, it may.
Yeah, no. So the reason I'm saying that is because the next arrow that we are going to hit him with it is 20 seconds away. We are not hitting him with the 4th arrow, which is when he's roughly dying. We can peel damage earlier and hit him with the 5th arrow instead, and it's way stronger.
Wow, that arrow miss was shenanigans.
Yeah, it is. It did miss.
We will. Also, yeah, that was sick. Mafo was on 0 HP and lived. Good job, healers. That was crazy. Keep on keeping on, gang.
We should have dispelled Mafo when he had the arrow. Bad job, healers.
Okay, yes, good point. He did live.
Yeah, everyone was low. It was me popping Conduit early. I'm not gonna lie. You only lived because I popped the CD. I wasn't
Mono,
supposed to pop there.
Thank you, Mono. Solar and Onage, get new flask, please.
Big gamers. Ranged, you know the dance. Drop an obelisk and then flip to the other side of. Dropping the puddles. All the puddles get pixel stacked inside the previous one. Can shift left out of the puddles. Arrow nothing. Careful of the next interrupt cast. It's in 3. Careful ranged. After the obelisk, we need to move over to the next boss. This arrow can hit Demiar. Careful of the obelisks. Baiting tight ranged.
Taking everything?
Do not go to the gate until the obelisk drops. Once you know if you're safe, take the gate. Everyone who has a mechanic, drop off your mechanic, then take the gate. Arrow nothing. This arrow is also on nothing. It's coming out in 3 seconds. Ranged or baiting. Arrow nothing. You can start swapping your targeting over. Definitely keep some on that boss, but he's slowly dropping. All right. Everybody is still hitting him. Keep hitting him. Arrow on Morium. You have to stay on him, unfortunately. Slightly off on the timing with people dead.
Dispel Athena. Fuck.
Where's Athena? Trying to find that exact timing is a pain in the ass. You can jump off. We're dead.
there a reason why we had Morium tanked further away instead of closer?
At the beginning or near the end? Which part?
At the beginning, like
No.
it was over here.
Gonna make an executive call. Take the marker off day, not because you're doing anything wrong day, but because we have exactly one devourer and we don't actually need to be playing around your range.
Okay.
Throw it on
Just know that
yeah,
I will not be on the stack, and you guys will see me off in Narnia, but I will try to stack where I can.
Yeah. Like, if a mechanic goes on day, we play around it a little bit, but having these baits be a little further off melee, especially on Varellus, is going to be helpful. So true.
Tonnage flask. Tonnage.
Here we go. Watch the interrupt. Drop-offs in the bomb. If you're safe, you can shift. Arrow nothing. Keep with the stack until the obelisk. With the obelisk, you can shift. Watch interrupt. Arrow nothing, we're behind. Arrows on nothing. Melee, you can head over. Careful with when. Ranged, you're baiting a stack of mechanics here. Bombs in the bombs. Everyone who's safe can gate. Arrow onto Demiar. One arrow onto Demiar. Wait for things to go off if you haven't gated yet. The next arrows are on nothing. Ranged, you're playing cozy for the next set of baits. Just tank. Can shift. Leave Morium alone. Next arrow hits Morium. Make sure we're AoEing these droplets. Get all the droplets under the boss. That's the prio for the next few seconds. Good. Now burn. 12 seconds till the arrow. Arrow hits Varellus. We are most likely dead. Can we see how many stacks he has? Well, not anymore, I guess. Did anybody past tense see how many stacks he had?
I can check.
We're just so behind on Varellus damage every time.
Oh, that was just damage? Because I was
Is
wondering
that
if we did
because
the
of
mechanics
Athena
right.
dying? Did the drop?
Oh, yes.
Not get there?
Yes. Yeah, we'll lose any droplets that were sitting on her. I mean, they'll just start running around, and it'll make it harder for them to be. What the ideal situation is, Athena has gathered an army of droplets and is staying alive with them, and so that as soon as we shift over, we can just nuke all the droplets on the boss immediately, and then we have the damage amp for the entire 15-second burn.
21 stacks.
Okay. Probably didn't get many of those until pretty late on, though. Is there anything that we need to do to support the tanks when they're in Narnia? It's hard to reach for getting heals on, but
If I could get something right around like right when we swap over, when you guys swap to Morium. Yeah, I don't know, because it's after he does his cast. It's funky.
Yeah. Okay. Do what we can. Don't be too afraid to just dump all of your defensives and pots and stuff, or if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Is there any world where I can just like play middle after they do the range bait and gate? So I can
Yeah,
hit it?
actually, with the gate timing that's between some bait drops, you could try to get some hots out there.
Athena repair.
Just try to get kind of back to the group in time for the next expulsion, and everything else should be fine. Keep on gaming. No die. Obelisk baits. Shifting for puddle baits. After the obelisks go off, ranged can start moving if you're not targeted. Watch this interrupt. Arrowing Demiar, hitting Morium. Ranged are baiting the triple mechanic. Baiting puddles. Then looking for the obelisk bait. And if you don't have a mechanic from here, you can gate. Arrows nothing. Ten seconds on expulsion. 5 seconds on obelisk. Arrow nothing. Melee head to Veralis. Range target swap. The next arrow has to hit Morium. It's coming out in 3 seconds after these obelisks fire. 1 arrow onto Morium. Okay. He's going to enrage. You can jump. Guys, just like on dragons, Veilgore, don't be afraid to just run through Illyria in a straight line if you need to point that arrow. I saw both of you guys just sort of hesitate and then kind of slowly start shifting the long way around. You can run straight through Illyria if you need to point it the other way.
Honestly, that's pretty much on me. I put my movement command in incorrectly and blinked basically backwards.
I was wondering what you were doing in melee.
Yeah. I just blinked towards the wrong boss.
I've never done that.
No.
It's just where I'm walking, so.
Was that ideal timing for us moving off of the second mini boss there?
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was even slightly late, but safe. It was a safe late, so that seemed better. And we had a giant pile of things on Veralis to kill when we got there.
Yeah, I was one of the people with mechanics on that, and I definitely was hitting that empty health bar for a little bit. So
yeah, we can peel even earlier than that from Morium to Veralis. We just have to be so careful to make sure that we have enough people left behind to kill it before arrow number 5.
True.
But
it's not the end of the world if 2 people lose out.
Yeah.
Could have more cookies.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Vamonos. It's getting much, much cleaner. Work out the kinks. Baiting obelisks. Interrupt in 3. Baiting puddles. After obelisks go off, you're allowed to move. I would not move before that. Arrow nothing. After the obelisks, interrupt in 3. After obelisks, you can move. I'm going to say arrow nothing here. Just peel off damage, go to next boss. Arrow nothing. Careful with timing. Fully leave the boss, onto Morium, triple bait ranged. The next arrow is going on Demiar. Ranged are baiting the puddle, then they're baiting the obelisk. Then the arrow onto Demiar, and if you have nothing, you can gate. It's res filthy. These arrows are going to be on nothing. Melee, you may leave the boss. Go next. Ranged, you may target swap. Arrows, one on Morium. The next arrow must hit Morium or we wipe. Pumpy's got it. Care about the beams. Next arrow has to hit Varellus. Keep nuking. This is single target now. Too many DPS dead. We can jump. What killed everyone?
I believe I saw a line through ranged.
I definitely got hit by an obelisk.
Okay.
Yeah, that obelisk was kind of illegal. It was pointing directly at range stack, but then also range stack needed to move since it did plant.
Which obelisk?
I believe it was a melee obelisk. They moved towards boss, and so then it was facing directly at the range stack.
I feel like there's a very large lack of melee baiting.
Yeah, the melee ideally should also be trying to stay stacked. And like, there comes a point where it's, I really don't want to prescribe a very specific position for every single spot where there's obelisks and the melee have to pixel stack on one side and move to the other. But generally speaking, melee try to be playing on the other side of the boss from the ranged, or even better, just try to be playing on the outer ring so that your obelisks will always be firing off the edge. So like if we were on, imagine Demiar is Morium and you're hitting Morium here, but you're here. If you play on this side of the boss where we're standing right now, anywhere on this arc, if you get targeted by obelisk and you move toward the middle of the arena, toward where Athena is, your obelisk will be pointing off the edge and not toward ranged and not toward the tanks and not toward anything. Do not do that for the first one. The first one we're doing correctly, but afterwards. the puddles next. Remember, do not move until obelisks go off. Arrow nothing. Next obelisk bait and interrupt in 3. These arrows are going to hit nothing. We're going to just always go for third arrow Demi-R. It's more consistent, so you can leave Demi-R alone. These arrows hit nothing. Watch this last interrupt. Baiting, this is triple bait. After the obelisks will be the arrows, and if you get an arrow, you hit Demi-R. If you have nothing, you can gate. We did not hit Demi-R. This interrupt, if you're in range, will kill you. Good. Arrow must hit Demi-R. Only Demi-R, not Morium. This might kill both of you. Still missed. Okay, jump. Oh, we can't break the shield when it enrages. That's a mechanic.
Wait,
I
seriously?
forgot. Yep.
Oh, I think they both still missed because they both also.
Yeah.
We both
Yeah.
were on it, and then both were like, "Oh no, well, one of us will step out."
I think that is still a thing, though. We need to hit the third one. It was another, I think both people just didn't move at all. Not sure if maybe we're used to hitting the second one and not needing the third one. For the sake of consistency, we're just always going to go for that third one. Even if the boss is already at 1 HP, just means we got to do more damage to Morium.
Beast down.
Time to eat.
For the there was a bit of a tank movement on Demi-R towards the end of its health bar, where we got an obelisk and it was facing the correct way, and then the tank moved the boss to like the opposite side of the obelisk circle. Should we not be moving that towards the center instead?
In a perfect world, yes, but I am trying to hit puddles.
Oh, I
Like
see.
that is
It
my
was
my top
almost dead.
priority.
It was almost dead at that point, so like it had all the stacks already.
Yeah, when we're about to kill the boss, we don't need more puddles necessarily.
Roger.
Once you've munched up and you double checked that all your buffs are going to last the rest of the night.
Ellie, eat. Hip, eat. Plenty of people getting close on repair. Good to go.
I need to get Day's voice for my AI assistant. Hey Day, set my calendar.
Fuck you.
Wow, so lifelike.
For real.
Baiting obelisks. Watch the interrupt in 3 as you move for puddles. Careful that the target's not in the stack completely. Make sure you're moved around the target. After obelisks go, you can pre-move. Baiting the next obelisk. Arrows nothing. Interrupt in 3. You can shift. Next arrows are also hitting nothing. Melee, you can head next boss whenever you're safe to. Range, make sure you're not hitting it. Bait, bait, bait. We had a convenient timing there, so the third arrow doesn't need to hit. If you have no mechanic, you can gate. Watch the puddle. baiting together ranged. These arrows are hitting nothing. These arrows hit nothing. Careful. On to next boss, guys. Bring any droplets you can, melee. Feel free to taunt them on.
Athena.
Rezioseki, Aeromorium. I forgot to call it. We might be okay. Next arrow, both need to hit. One on Morium, one on Varellus. You both will need to pick a target. Whoever's closer to Morium, head there first. Here we go. Figure it out. Figure it out. Good. Good. All right, X. Go X. Down a mage, but I think a 3-player kill squad can still work. Playing near Illyria to start with. Well, she moved. You know what I mean. Every other. Get hit by 1 and 3, or get hit by 2 and 4. Do not get double hit. Do not miss a hit. Remember, you're glowing if you're about to get hit. Kill squad, get ready. All right, ranged, look at your star player. You're baiting Obelisk on Yoseki. Where you guys are now is good. Just be in range. After Obelisk, you shift for the Void Expulsion. See if we can get those far kicks. Need to be headed to the left to bait. Silver Strike arrows are going to target. You must hit the boss with all of them. All 4 players go to boss. Ranged, shift over, follow Yoseki to bait the next Obelisk. 4 seconds. You need to be on Yoseki ranged. Ranged are going to shift left, except the target who shifts right. Okay, you need to hit this one next to you. Look at the ghosts. Look at the ghosts. Let the baits happen, and then shift over.
Terrible bait.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Melee, you may have to run all the way to the edge next. Bait on Yoseki. Bait on Yoseki. 3 seconds. Range. Go. And the target goes right. The target is going right. Everyone else goes left. Target goes right. Find the sweet spot. Make sure you're not hit by anything. It's going to be fucked. You got this. After the obelisks go, drop the puddles and shift over. Arrows through the boss. Ranged are going to be doing bait. This is going to get really rough. Baiting the obelisk. Ranged are going to go left. Look at the one to the right. That's what you're aiming at. After we do the puddle drop, we're going to gate and have everyone go across. After the obelisks. We don't have Hildy. Okay, everybody has to natty jump. You can do it. You can't do it, but some of you could do it. Okay, find your targets. Find your targets. They exist. Puddle baits. We're going to just be playing over even more. Boss is going to phase soon, so the next set of mechanics do not matter. We've missed a couple arrows. All right, behind the gold ring, behind the gold ring. You don't want to be in melee range of the boss yet. After the first mechanic, you can step forward into melee range and hug the right side wall. Hug the right side wall, the edge here. Pixel stack, pixel stack, pixel stack, pixel stack on that right side. Stand still. Ranged are going to break by running out to X. Ranged break. Everyone else stands still. You can jump across, jump across, jump across. Following the boss. Boss would go into the back left corner behind circle marker. And the mini boss would end up on the simulacrum. That's phase 3. That's Prague.
Huge Prague.
Day 1, phase 3.
When you say on the right side, did you mean the side closest to triangle or the side closest to square?
Yeah,
Looking
that's a
in,
good point.
I think, but yeah.
When you said jump, are we supposed to jump to like the side where that gate was?
So
Me and Day
what's-
went that way, and everybody else.
Yeah, we're supposed to wait for the things to
So-
come out.
So how this goes is we're going to be baiting on one side of that corner. So the right side, the triangle side, you're on that edge. And once the simulacrum targets, which is that big stream of particle effects coming off the boss, then everyone will jump to the left to where the simulacrum's going. So we bait right and jump left.
Again, be careful with where you're positioning. You never
Can
jump
you
off if you're dead.
show on the replay and draw?
Yeah. Now that we're there. On
Yeah.
screen
Also,
real
the
quick.
kill squad was on the far platform.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Will the Rift Simulacrum spawn in different zones, or the
It
zone
went
we
to
did
X.
It wasn't there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it went to X, and then we also had two sides of the arrow, and I couldn't move it. Like, are we still supposed to point at the boss if we get both parts of the arrow on that side? I couldn't move mine
Yeah.
towards the boss because it was like the other part of it was stationary towards the edge, so I'd have to like jump
Probably
off the
not.
edge to point it. Okay.
Yeah, probably nothing we can do there. Okay, I want to very quickly look at that. First things first. If we
Make
have...
sure you're not too close when you come back in. We don't want to be pulling for no reason.
I gatewayed us across to the X, but like, yeah, we were confused at first.
Huh. Okay, let me just see if I can see what happens here. I don't know if I'll get a view. Because we should be here. You guys have pre-moved to that spot. Ah! We baited the simulacrum by everyone being on the left side of this platform, I think. Let me just... Yeah, you could see some streaming effect over there. So I believe what ends up needing to happen here is we end this phase, we end this run on the opposite side of the arena from where we actually want to be, because this is where it's going to bait sending, yeah, same thing as in phase 3, it sends the simulacrum as far as possible from the raid. So what this means...
Just in the far corner.
What?
No, good.
Okay. So what this means is, like, we're starting the intermission here, and we're going to end the intermission up against the wall on the other one. So I'm just gonna very fast forward along. So where we ended up here, everyone except the kill squad should stay on this side of the platform. I know we want to be there eventually, but we need to stay here until we land. That will send the simulacrum to the kill squad. Then, going into P3, after all this shenanigans, which, great job, guys. Good, like, this is our first real P2, and we got through it completely. So, phase 3, we go in. So, Yoseki standing on the right edge here. I'm calling this the right, facing where the boss is. I see why you got confused.
Well, I assumed that since we all stacked on the right, that we were going to be jumping across that right gap to the platform.
No. So this is
Currently on the left.
again, this is because the simulacrum is baited as far as possible from the raid. So by having the raid all here, the simulacrum goes to that platform.
Gotcha.
So what we want to do here is we're playing on this edge until the mechanic happens. Let's see if we can see shit happen. So we'll break a couple tethers here. We would break the ranged and the melee just by running out here. As these obelisks come out, you're going to see that the simulacrum has been baited, and you follow that stream by jumping this way. So we baited here, we jump this way. Athena just did not make it. Unfortunate. It is a big jump. You have to be very precise if you're a move speed only class.
Is that where I have a rescue?
Ideally, yes. So Ty, you can rescue Fixer here.
Heard.
Fixer, if you see somebody, a mage over there, or if we've determined that like mages are having trouble, we can put a life grip on there as well.
I is rescuing Fixie. Fixie can then rescue someone else.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken? I thought the gate was supposed to be that first one there. No, or is it?
No, we're
one
gating
after
second
that?
one.
Okay, okay.
We jump this one, we gate second one, we jump third one. All right, we have time for one more poll. What's up?
Real quick, can you look at the P2 first or second obelisks? That the one that I had the somebody mentioned a weird obelisk bug where the lines weren't moving.
Oh, yeah.
capture
So,
that.
yeah, we can't see this on Ellie's screen because it'll look normal for Ellie, but there's a weird bug going on, and I'm seeing it on Fixer's POV where the
No, it's
lines
not.
are. Oh, is
yeah,
that on yours?
it's on me. Yeah.
Okay.
It should be this next one, I think.
Yeah, so we bait, the arrows go through, we bait the obelisk. Again, we need to, this is how much room we want to have. So here, the ghost is spawned on this side, the target should be going over here. We bait the obelisk. The target goes to the right here because they need to hit that, and the ranged have to find a safe space. So look at these lines. Ellie can tell he's hitting it because the purple glow, but we can't see what the fuck's happening here. If this happens, I don't know what's causing this. Your safest bet is either going to be moving out to the edge or trying to like draw that line yourself and be between them. This is fucked. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Did anyone else see that? Because I seen good.
Yeah, I
lines on
thought
my
I was
screen.
lagging.
No,
was
I
like,
think most of us saw it.
I see nothing but good lines. I was like dancing around trying to find a safe spot between them.
I feel like I also saw good lines.
I'm 100% sure that I was not watching Ellie's POV on this, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh god, where's Fixer gonna stand?
If this does happen to you, you can use the lines that are facing the correct way to aim. Also.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this you'd have to try to weave your way around these little lines if you see it looking funky. We're gonna do one more pull, see how far we can get.
If all else fails, just make sure you're not standing between them and the ghost or directly by the ghost.
Yeah. The left ones are always going to be more dangerous.
Hip, you good?
Okay.
Jesus Christ, the Bellerin pulls in the fucking Warcraft recorder's cursed as fuck.
I'm so sorry.
Pika.
Jeez, Pika, you're supposed to be paying the fuck attention.
I am paying attention.
Obelisk
Our
baits.
pulls.
Puddle baits. Can shift. Arrows are on nothing. Next obelisk baits. Watch the interrupt cast. As the obelisks get baited, we can start shifting over. The next arrows are hitting nothing. The next arrows are hitting nothing. You're moving to next boss. Carefully, watch the arrows. Ranged, you're going to be baiting. This is triple bait. Expulsion into obelisk into arrows. The arrow must hit Demiar. See if you're targeted by shit. See if you're targeted by shit. Arrows on Demiar. Everyone who's not targeted can gate shit. Arrows are going to be on nothing. We're doing miscellaneous mechanic bait. Melee, you can leave. Range, make sure we finish Morium. You can leave too. Look at that juicy pile of cleave on Varellus.
4, 3,
Cleave, no.
2, 1.
Nice. Arrow must hit Morium. Arrow must hit Morium. One arrow. Good job. Look how ahead we are. This is what it's supposed to look like. 15 seconds. You can just single target him down. Perfect. In 5 seconds, arrows on Varellus. He's already dead. Build resource and off heal. Arrow must hit Varellus. Melee, make sure it's safe. Don't get hit by these.
One of you go.
Thank you. Alright. Going toward the X marker. See where Illyria is. That's the edge you're going to line up on. Don't go ahead. You're going to have a bad time.
Ah, I see.
You're going to have a really bad time. Yeah, you're just going way ahead now. Every other? Don't get hit by shit. Nice job. Remember, we are ending the phase on the far side of this platform. Kill squad getting ready. Bait near mono.
Ah, what a journey.
When we land, we'll be lusting. and moving to our first bait position.
We get a healer up.
Yes, get Filthy up, ranged, go stand on Ty and Mafo. This is your spot to start with. Then you shift left for the puddle baits. Left for puddle baits. These obelisks aren't real. Well, I mean, they're real, but they don't need anything. And now we are officially in phase 2. Kill squad's coming back in time for the silver arrows. This is how it's supposed to work. Silver arrows must hit boss. All targets must try to hit boss. Baiting the obelisk. Going left ranged. Melee and ranged. Look at your targets. Look at your targets. Look at your targets. Remember, you're pretending to be ranged. And shift. Give yourself lots of space. Silver strike arrows through boss. Ranged, your ghost is on the left, so the target's going right this time. The target goes right this time. Here we go. Melee, find your ghost. Ranged, look at your ghost. Find a safe spot. Nicely done. Drop offs. And then shift far over for next bait. Silver strikes through boss. Ranged, yours is on the right, so it's natty and normal. Obelisks. Melee, this one's a little spooky for you, because Filthy has to hit near melee. External pill, yeah. I don't know what to do there. Alright, arrows, and we can gate across here. Okay, this works. Get across.
Oh,
that does not work.
That hurt.
Okay, we'll need to go quite a bit sooner than that next time. As soon as the puddles and the arrows go, we need to all be gating there, I think. I'll double check the timers. Melee, looks like a couple of those got missed. I know why Pilgrims missed. I think boss needs to be pushed a little bit further away from the range stack so that there's...
Okay.
Also, melee, you need to be playing away from the range stack. You can't be on that side of the boss for the baits. If the melee bait's on top of the ranged bait, the melee bait person is dead. Just before we wrap up, I just want to highlight that for anybody who didn't see that happen. If I can load a POV here. So this set right here. So we're doing our bait here. The boss is way outside the gold ring here. You see this? And all the melee are basically playing on the ranged. So Pilgrim gets targeted by this. Pilgrim's target is over on that side of the arena. Where does Pilgrim go?
Pilgrim's fucked is what he is.
Yeah. There is no surviving this without Cloak of Shadows. So this is why the melee need to be up here more. But that was great. Great job, everyone. Thank you, everyone, including the people who were not in for the night, for watching and learning along with us. This was a really, really good day one of Prague on a... It's not an end boss, but it's kind of an end boss. So pat yourselves on the back. Make sure you're ready for Thursday. We could kill this Thursday. Genuinely. It's not likely, but we could.
This has the tuning of a third boss, but the dance of a end boss. And you guys are getting the dance down.
Yeah. So get ready to game. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you next time.
Cinder, you need chimeras?
Oh, shit. Yeah. People who are wanting to stick around for Chimeras, form that group up, I guess. If you need me, I'll do it.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's just start heading over to Chimeras right now. We can keep the same raid group. I'm going to do a ready check. If anyone doesn't respond to this or gives a no, then you can either leave or we can kick you. But